G'day guys, and welcome back to another Thursday night, and thank you very much for joining our live stream. And just want to say thank you to all of you guys. You have now made us the biggest gun-related live stream on Australian YouTube in this country. So it is fantastic. And we've already kicked it off. We just got to say thank you to Ollie for a super chat. So $14.99. Thank you very much, Ollie Bren. Really appreciate that. So you can find Jason and I on all the social medias on Facebook, Instagram, and we are doing Parler now, which is the free speech platform. So you can't get censored on that, especially after today. Mr. Guns and Gear got removed from Facebook. So they deleted his account yet again. So, which is a bit of a shame, and he got onto Parler, so he's joined us as well. Really good YouTube channel over in the US. So we will bring Jason in here. G'day, Jason.
What's happening, my friend? How you been?
Yeah, good. Flat out this week. So it's been good. Reloading, getting that PRC ready. It's starting to play up again. So we just got to try and sort that out. I thought I had it nailed, but no.
Told you should have stick to the, the factory off-the-shelf ones, mate. When you get these, jack of all parts put together, sometimes you don't have any luck.
I can't believe it, but I did get on forums, and they are saying that it could be I'm loading it too fast. Like I was going almost 3,200 feet a second. They reckon it's not stabilizing, it's destabilizing. So yeah. I'm going to play around with some different powders this week.
What are you using? Using Reloader, aren't you? A line, a Reloader, what is it? 26, 25?
25, Reload 25. So I'm going to try a few with the ADI 225, and I'm going to try some Sierra Match Kings as well, because I've heard they stabilize extremely well. So here's hoping, but we're in for a big storm tonight. And could be rain tomorrow. It's going to hopefully get out tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
I reckon I'm using the 225s out of the Magnums, and what PRC's basically what a Magnum 6.5 cartridge anyway. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it works. I would have loved to have shot my Bagara and 7mm and done the loads a couple of weeks ago on the rabbit hunt, but like it was just pissing down like you're talking about. So it's not good, man. But I'm going away in about 6 weeks again, so we'll see how we go, man.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't shot it. I'll be hanging out to shoot my new gun. I never waited that long ever.
I know, it sucks, man. But just a few things to do: podcasts, videos, you name it. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. So should be a good night. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Seems like it's we've got some good numbers already, which is fantastic. And
yes,
let's have a chat about many different topics tonight. But it should be interesting.
Yeah, about to break the 100. And so, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. There's 100 of you in here right now, so get down below and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. So I'm releasing about 3 videos a week, sometimes 4. So, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we put out a video. So I did get out and had a really good day last Saturday with a couple of mates, and we filmed a video that's coming out tomorrow on bulletproof wallboarding, like real rigid stuff. It's meant to be Kevlar infused wallboard, and it was pretty amazing. Never shot anything like that before in my life. It was really interesting and a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. There's lots. Man, I just wish I could go do a bit of shooting, but guess we can go shooting. The poor buggers in Victoria, unfortunately, can't do a bit of shooting at the moment. Can't get their guns. They can still do online orders, I think. But if you get, which we'll talk about a bit later, if you get caught within a kilometre out of your 5 kilometre radius, mate, you're in the shit, and they're losing their guns. So again, we'll probably talk about that a little bit early on, and how to sort of help out and make sure we're doing the best we can to support those people in Victoria. And the NSC is pushing some injunction legal action, which we'll talk about, which is pretty awesome. There's the fundraiser going around. I'm just, looking at it now, the numbers are good, but I just can't believe, shooters are losing their gun license in Victoria for COVID breaches. And at the moment, me and Aaron have shared it, and there's 117 donors. I mean, sorry, guys. I mean, it's fantastic for the ones that have put in. I've put in. I know Chris Miller, one of our regulars, probably watching now. He put in as well. It's just like 117 donors. I just think that's fucking pathetic. How do we have 117 donors, for the $10,000 goal when the shooters not care about what's happening in Victoria? I mean, look at, I've been hearing whisperings from people that I know, and they said Andrews is going to be lucky to last the next week and a half. So there's rumours of a spill that could be happening. So, but who wants to inherit a big steaming pile of shit? Nobody. So I'd say what's going to happen is they'll ride this out with Daniel Andrews as long as they need to. He'll get all the bad publicity. As soon as COVID sort of has gone away, they'll roll him and he'll be gone. I mean, his premiership is untenable. So hopefully his ass gets booted as soon as possible. I can't believe what's happened to Australia, this country that we love, and the way they're treating people and pregnant ladies, and Victorian police, harassing old ladies on park benches. A lady that was 38, I saw you one yesterday again, a lady 38 weeks pregnant. Thankfully, she sort of told him off and told him to bugger off. And, I'm pregnant, I'm 38 weeks, I'm exercising, I need to sit down. So thankfully, the Victorian police had half a sense to say, oh, thank you, and immediately exited the situation. So at least they've finally been told. I mean, that one with that pregnant lady that was arrested had 7.5 million views. I mean, if Victorian police aren't getting it by now, I mean, they're just mad. And but you know what? They're punch drunk on power. This is what police do. Hassle firearms owners, over small COVID breaches. What, really, for being a kilometre away from their house? I mean, like an extra kilometre. I mean, you have a few gun owners out there that are crapping on, well, if you can't follow this rule, how can you have a gun license? I mean, I just don't believe that. Sorry. I mean, there's multiple reasons why they could have been out of the area. And I have heard on the grapevine that anyone that is challenging the $1,652 fine, they're just dropping the fines. No one's actually going to court to pay these fines unless they've paid them voluntarily. So I would urge anyone, if you do get a fine for that, to take it to court, and hopefully, obviously they're realizing this is not really going to wash down the track, and they're just removing the fine straight up before it even goes to court, because like I said, any precedent set could be an issue and could be used later down the track in a court of law. So anyway, we'll see. A lot of great people in Victoria. I like going down there myself. Great place. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of pretty bad instances up here. In the last 24 hours, we had a poor girl not allowed out of quarantine, even though she is from Canberra, with no cases of COVID, to see her father before he died. And then he died, and our Premier would not give in at all. Said, no, she's not going to go to the funeral now. Can't even go see her father's body. This is purely disgusting. The police have got her locked down. Another one is 2 children down from New South Wales. She's not letting in to see their father. 2 young children can't go see their father, who is dying from cancer and not expected to live till Christmas. Just absolutely disgusting up here. If the police had a shred of dignity, they would stand aside, allow them to walk out of that hotel and go see their dying parents. It's just absolutely disgusting.
I'd say criminal, not just disgusting, criminal. I mean, we saw, if everyone hasn't seen it, you can watch whether you like him or not, it's not the point of the matter. I mean, RV Yemeni, I've actually done an interview with RV Yemeni on the show before, and, seen the way the police treated him the other day, being a journalist. They arrested him, threw him on the ground, gave him orders to move on, even though he had all the appropriate permits. I mean, it's funny how they go, oh, well, he's not a journalist. I mean, CNN, News.com, The Guardian, Sydney Morning Herald. I mean, really? I mean, they use the word journalist very loosely these days for what constitutes a journalist. But I mean, he had the permits. They throw him on the ground. They turn up at his house later that night. Apparently a welfare compliance check. I mean, they're not doing any of that to the ABC, Channel 7, Channel 9. And he did record secretly a couple of the what would you call them, journalists from 7 or 9, whichever one they were from, and they were saying, that they were threatening to arrest them as well, and this is a bunch of bullshit. Yet when he had the camera rolling, we don't want to really say anything, man. Yet they were already caught doing it because they thought they were off camera.
Yeah, exactly. And he actually conducted himself extremely professional the whole time. Didn't argue, didn't, get uppity, kept his temper in check. He did everything right by the book, as you should do when they try and stand over you. And they still bloody did all this crap to him and harassing him at home, which is unbelievable. Then you had Sydney Watson getting a letter from the Victorian police. She lives in America, for God's sake. And they're crying to her over there. Why are you calling us corrupt? Well, apparently she had the facts. I don't know the whole story, but just getting way out of hand. It's unbelievable.
Can you imagine sending a letter, a cranky email from the police to Sydney Watson, who's overseas in America, about, are you calling us corrupt? We're not really happy with the situation. Like, go away. This is what social media was meant for. I mean, I don't like Twitter. I think Twitter's a cesspool. I've got it, but it's really only to share the show and bait a few links here and there. That's really about it. But yeah, man. I mean, and then when that RV Yemeni thing happened, they're at his house that night, and he goes, "Well, are you going to Channel 7 and you're going to Channel 9's house? Oh, well, you're on our list." And he goes, "Well, take you off my list. Take you off your list. I got kids in the house. There's no reason for you to be here. Buzz off, basically." And when he dropped his handheld microphone, it was interesting because he still had his lapel mic underneath his shirt. And it's funny what they will say when they think they're not being recorded, which he did have as part of the video as well. And some of the cops saying, "Well, I don't care," and you've been given a move on order. He was just standing there. The video is obvious, doing nothing. I mean, this is unbelievable what's happening, dude. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. We should be very, very worried moving forward. And I keep saying to Aaron, me and Aaron had that discussion a couple of days ago. I mean, it sucks because I'm a big proponent of it, and I have been for 10 years. I mean, they're not going to give us semi-autos back. They're not going to give us suppressors. They're not going to get rid of registration. They're just going to make things, which is the premise of this show, more and more difficult as the years roll on until you've basically got nothing. So what are we going to do about it? That's, I guess, the premise of this show. So.
Eventually, as we're going to talk about, it's going to be up to people like you and me donating to people who actually got the resources and the knowledge to do something. We can't rely on the organisations or anything like that. They don't want to spend any money, do they? So it's coming down to fundraising, fan raising, or whatever it is. The GoFundMe. Crowdfunding. So that's what it's come down to. We're paying all these taxes, all these fees, jumping through the hoops, and now we've got to pay extra money to try and just keep what we got. But before we start, we're getting a lot of super chats, and I want to thank everybody. I've been putting them up, so I really appreciate that. This is from Lockie. Always look forward to the podcast. Keep up the good stuff, fellas. Thank you very much. And old Dirty Fox, $10. Thank you very much, Dirty Fox. And, of course, we had a few more from Ross. Thank you very much, Ross. I really appreciate that.
Yep.
Yes, well, yes, another thing what just came to mind, taking someone's gun license if they're not wearing a mask or doing whatever they want you to do down there. Apparently, which we'll talk about, the guy was just overseeing his mate and he missed the curfew or some crap like that. Why aren't they taking your boat license? If you don't have a gun license, why aren't they taking your boat license? Why aren't they taking your fishing license? Why aren't they taking your gym membership? It's all a sport. Car licenses, yes, exactly. Why aren't they trying to punish you by not being able to go to work? Things like that. Why is it just firearms?
Yeah, man, I can't believe I live in this country sometimes. I really don't. Like, it's a great country, and, all the things that are happening and you're seeing, they're just, targeting certain people. Like we saw in the videos just the other day, Sydney Watson, anyone with conservative leaning views or whatever it may be. Maybe we should go into that NSC one first, I think. Aaron, what do you reckon? we go into that one first. So this one was
Definitely.
the National Shooting Council said they urgently want to get an injunction on the Victorian Police suspending or cancelling shooters' licenses because they breached COVID-19 restrictions. They've set up a GoFundMe, which is on mine and Aaron's page. They said you'll already be aware that VicPol's licensing division has been suspending firearms license for breaches of COVID-19. Then it goes losing your license. So they're threatening basically to lose your license. They've already put it, and this is not hearsay. This is actually out on the internet, specific media release from the police. So yeah, if you're caught, you're probably going to get your license suspended. They've even said that. So they're not backwards in coming forward. The NSC is contacted by Victorian license holders that, they're obviously getting legal advice. I mean, NSC's got access to a barrister or a lawyer or a solicitor. Apparently, they did try to. It says SSA Victoria. So I was going to say Shooting Stuff Australia then. Sporting Shooters Association Victoria had earlier boasted that it had a desire and resources to pursue the matter. And then all of a sudden, the NSC was offering to organise a meeting for the shooter involved. The NSC wrote to the SSA Victorian CEO wanting to meet and obviously sort something in, and we'll obviously work together, which would probably be fantastic. Then they get no response from SSA, so they follow up. So then from Jack Wegman, who is the Sporting Shooters Association of Australia Victorian Chief Executive Officer, says, "Hi, Peter." So obviously works for the NSC. In light of the approach you're taking, in light of the approach you have taken, I stand by my position, which is the position probably to do nothing like they always do, which is just very sad. Again, we've given them, enough opportunity to make a difference here. They're the ones that have got the money, whichever way we like it or not, guys. I mean, they're the ones that have got the most members. They're the ones that have got the most money. So, but you've got to get rid of these old fart fogies out of this place. Not that there's wrong with anything with old people. There's fantastic lot of old people that think like me and you, Aaron, and the people watching this stream. But the problem is we are not in the positions of power to make a difference. And I'm still getting people on my page saying, I'll get involved in the committees. I did get involved in the committee, the Sydney branch SSA committee. I was on it for 3 years. Complete and utter waste of time, especially when you get on there and you think like me and you've got 7 or 8, 10 bunch of old fuddy-duddies on there, and even young people believing what they're telling them. The young people even saying, "Oh yeah, Red Joe's good and gun licenses are fantastic and gun laws are good," but you can't do anything on there. You're fighting 9 other people and you can't re-educate these people. They're institutionalized. Like, don't think you're going to join your committee and make a difference. I did it for 3 years and it was a complete waste of my time, and I'll never do it again. The only way to do it is to hopefully, one day there's going to be a change. I mean, hopefully they would see all the negative publicity on the internet and they'd go, shit, we better change because people aren't happy. No, they don't. They just keep saying we're getting more and more members and we're very popular. But it's a genuine reason. That's they have to join a club. They don't want to, they have to.
Yes, exactly. I remember you when you were on the committee. Giving me phone calls saying, "I can't believe they're doing this, they're doing that. How do they get away with this?" And yeah, geez, we're trying to do something. We get knocked back all the time, and yeah, complete and utter waste of time. Well, this actually, the whole thing came about a bit funny because I sent you the message when I saw it with the NSC and SSA going in together, and I sent you a message saying, "Oh, don't think this could end well," and you told me, support them, give them a go. I thought, okay, fair enough. Yeah, good call. I will support them because we always say if one of these organisations do something good, we're going to say, definitely they've given it a go, and they were going to give it a go, so that was all good. But I said, I got to be very wary. You can't trust these guys. And what do you know? A day later, they pulled out of the deal and decided not to do anything.
And the interesting part is, the NSC can tell you what they're doing. Right? Are they the best people in the world? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is at least they're giving it a go. At least they're giving it a go. And we've had I think you've had a few people trolling on the internet based on the label of this video that we're putting up today and stuff like that. Oh, it's another SSA bashing exercise. Well, we wish we didn't have to be the case. I truly do. I'd love if I was reporting to you these guys were the best. And, this whole working behind the scenes. The NSC isn't doing that. They're up front telling you exactly what they're going to do. either the SSAA is going to be a shooting organisation or it's going to be a political organisation. If you're not going to do anything, stop talking to politicians, shut the hell up, and just run your gun clubs, and then don't get involved. But again, you got all these power hungry retards that just can't help themselves. You know what I mean? They got to be. They think they're running this multi-million-dollar club. They're the be all and end all. You know, they're the shit. When no one even cares about who they are. All we want you to do is do something. And the NSC, at least, I'll give them that, is actually out there saying what they're going to do, win, lose, or draw. Yeah, people are out there slagging them off already. Well, this is not going to do anything. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not going to. But as opposed to what? 12/5 of fuck all from the rest of the people. Like, give me a break. I'd rather support these guys doing something and losing than doing nothing at all. You know, like I said, if I was the NSC, if I had to pick a beef with them, my only beef would be is to, you know, stop. I mean, we don't need to report on what SSAA are doing. You ask them the question, you move on. We don't need to report about what they're doing. Stay in our lane. Let the NSC's hard work do the talking for them. We don't need to bring the other organisation in about they're not doing this and, you know, and they're not doing that and we need their help and they've rejected and put a blog post about it. I would just say, let's just stick with what we're doing. Let's go hard with NSC, do what they're going to do and forget the rest because we know that Houston's not going to do anything. So
you don't make deals with the devil. It never ends out good. That's what I told you on day one when this came up, that you can't make deals with these people. These organisations are all one big pissing contest. That's all it is. It's just a pissing contest. They all want to be top dog. We're number one. We're the greatest. We're the biggest organisation. No, you should listen to us. They can't help themselves. They can't get into it and work together. And people say, well, we got to unite. Well, most shooters are united in their way of thinking. It's the organisations that can't unite. They don't want to be playing second fiddle. They want to be number one. And we've seen it time and time again. And we've been saying this for all year, since all this COVID shit started. We've been saying this. They don't want to work together. Okay, good on NSC. They held out the olive branch, but it backfired big time. Move on. Forget those fuckers. Forget the other organisations. They're completely useless. We all know that. Just do your own thing. Forget about them. Don't even bring them into the loop. And just be transparent. That's what's so good about NSC. They are transparent, as you said. Now, I'm so sick of this bullshit. We're working behind the scenes. People are paying fucking money to your organisation. They want to know what's going on. Where's their money going to? What's happening? Not we're doing shit behind the scenes. Fuck off. No, you're not. It's that simple.
As someone said, I think it was recently in some comments I read it, so I can't take credit for it. They said, don't forget, they want your membership money. They don't want your opinions. They want your membership money. They don't want your opinions. So, you know, it's very sad indeed. I wish it was different, man. I truly do. I wake up in the morning when I see this stuff, and I just as the years roll on of doing this podcast and seeing this constantly, it just starts to weigh on you. And I just think, oh man, just fucking do something. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, you don't need to be behind the scenes, man. NSC puts it out. We need help. Get behind us. I respect that. I really do. I respect that. None of this as you said, behind the scenes. Yeah, okay, give us a break. We're working here. I mean, if I can ask anyone, what major, and this is an very interesting point, actually, and I would say I can probably think of one at this stage, and I will give them credit for that, but name one court issue that they've actually gotten behind over the last 10 years. And most people will sit there and have absolutely no idea. Right? No idea what they've done. And mostly it'd be nothing, right? Except for, I will give credit to WA. They did get behind Shane Aylmore, which I know you've heard from, Aaron, around the Ella Valla range. I did an interview with Shane from the WA. If you remember, there was an ABC article, and he was bringing in people to shoot 50 cows on this range. It's one of the longest ranges in Australia. Is the longest range in Australia, and now they're trying to stop him from shooting more than 1,000 meters. So this has been in court. It's been in the tribunal. SSAA apparently have helped with that. So kudos to them in Western Australia. But national, in regards to what's happening at a national level, I mean, just utterly disgraceful. I mean, a bunch of old fogies all trying to one-up each other, trying to be the top dog. And it's got to get rid of him, man. Like, got to get rid of him. I mean, no disrespect to Jeff Jones, the president, but mate, that is not a guy that should be running an organization. I mean, he should have been in a retirement home. We need young, tech savvy people that really want to come into the fray and really want to throw things into chaos, basically, not for us, obviously, but chaos for, the government, the chaos for the police, really get amongst it and show us what they've got. If that means getting people that are political, then that's what we need to do. It's a totally different ball game these days than say what it was 15, 20 years, even 5 years ago. We need serious people that are really wanting to make some serious changes, not a bunch of old FUD hunters that think they're the best guy. I'm running this organization. I'm the man. It's like, just shut up and just leave, man. Just quit, leave. Let's get some people in charge, what I mean, that really know what they're doing and are really, really serious about what they want to do. And same thing, that's if it goes down to politics too, people that actually know what's going on, people that know how to advocate. I'm not sure I'm just thinking of the word they call them. They're not actually politicians, but they're people that know what's going on and can advise other people,
Not bureaucrats.
Not bureaucrats. No, there's a word for it. Sorry, guys. Maybe you might be able to put it in the question, but they basically advocate on behalf. They know
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists. Yeah, sorry, lobbyists. We need some serious lobbyists that actually know what they're doing, people that can get in there, people that can talk to the right people, that have connections. And sometimes people think that's maybe a pro-gun party, but you know what? At the end of the day, the government that's in power makes the decisions, man, regardless of whether we like that or not. That's the facts of the matter. If you're in New South Wales, it's Liberal. If it's Queensland, it's Labor. It's Labor in Western Australia. It's Labor in Victoria. They're the only ones that can change legislation right now. Because they're the ones in Parliament that have the power. No one else does. And especially if you don't have a balance of power and they need your vote, if you don't have a balance of power, that 4-year term is useless. So you're ineffective because you don't have any power. We've seen that in New South Wales. We've seen that in Victoria. We've seen that in Queensland. We've seen that pretty much in every state because we don't have any balance of power. And when we have had the balance of power, unfortunately, we've especially New South Wales, about 5 years ago, 2015, we absolutely squandered that balance of power. We sold off, $12 billion worth of assets, and we got sweet fuck all. We got some stupid, public land hunting for national parks. That was crap that I don't even know if it's even still going around today, that you've got to be selected and supervised and mate, no thanks. It should have been like state forest hunting, mate.
Exactly. I just want to thank JR for his $10 super chat. The link on Facebook, both ours are on our Facebook pages and some posts. I did one just this afternoon as well, saying we got to about $5,000 for the $10,000 that's needed to take court action. So it is up there, mate. It is there definitely.
I'm looking at mate, one thing, it's up to $6,276. But again, we've got over 1 million gun owners and we've got 118 donors. I mean, this is why we can't get anywhere. It's just like, really, again, I'm not from Victoria, but we're all in this together, mate. So I put $20. That's what I can afford right now. If we had, can you imagine if we had 3,000 people at $20 or we had 5,000 shooters at $20? I think, what it should be. I hate to say forced, but I think what we should be doing, but again, no organization can work together. If that organizations did have some sort of fund and you paid $5 every year per membership for lobbying, I think people would be happy with that. If we had two lawyers on retainer to take on these issues, when there's no big issues happening, maybe they might take on a case they think they can win for a private shooter, but the rest of the time they're doing this Victorian stuff, for an example. The WA bans, they'd be dealing with that, right? So there'd be two guys on retainer. If it costs $1 million a year, $500,000 each, they're on retainer for 2 years. They don't get results, piss them off, get someone else in there that might be able to do something. So, they're not just going to be here to take the money and run. They're going to be on results-based system. So who would not be happy paying an extra $5 to have two lawyers on retainer fighting this actively every single year? But again, when you get money from genuine reasons, you get money for ranges, you're never going to bite the hand that feeds you. And, again, they just don't listen to social media commentary. They just, they think social. I've heard this before. I'm not going to say specific organizations, but they say, oh, that's just social media. That's not what our members are saying when we put out things. And I go, yeah, okay, well, that's what you want to say and you want to play it like that, so be it. But you're not going to get any support, because most people are on social media these days. So good luck with the other generation that are eventually going to not be here anymore. And it's the young people that are going to be either leaving the clubs or demanding that you do something, and so they should be for their money. They're paying you money to do something.
Yep, exactly. And this comes down to the thing that Imran just said here. He's just done a super chat. Thank you very much. Why would WSAA support changing gun laws when they profit from them? Compulsory membership, attendance, etc. Exactly. They're never gonna want pistols on private land, because if you do that, you don't have to do their stupid contests and go to their clubs. So they'll never advocate for pistols on private land. We almost had them here in Queensland a few years ago. Not many people know about that, but it was squashed at the last second by someone. And they'll never, ever advocate for things like that. You never see them. They just think, got to shoot pistols at ranges like ours for public safety, for their own safety. They must be supervised. Just unbelievable. So they'll never, ever help us out in any way or form when it comes to true changing the gun laws. Maybe little bits like getting suppressors or things like that, yeah, because they're not going to lose money by letting us have those. But when it comes to true change, it won't happen.
Jay's Aussie capitalist. He says Jason's fired up tonight. Yeah, baby. I wouldn't say fired up. I'd just say, I've been doing this for 10 years, mate. Eventually, you just get sick up to your eyeballs, man. You've just had it, And me and Aaron have had discussions, and we've said we're not going to mention any names, but what happens if we don't get support from these people? And I said, well, we haven't anyway. We've been doing this for 10 years. No one's come knocking from certain organizations offering us advertising money or support money. So why would they start now after 10 years, or certain importers or people that don't support us? So if they're never going to support us by now, they were never going to support us anyway. So we just don't really care anymore. Like when you do this for 10 years and over 230 shows, you just had a gut full of it, man. It's like, man, just shut up and do something, man. We don't want to hear the dribble. Just give us what we need. Start advocating. Stop this crap behind the scenes. We don't want to hear that. We want actual, and NSC's been doing that, And I noticed they probably are rubbing a lot of the organizations the wrong way because, their lack of action has been showed up by these guys, But, you're getting the organizations, as I said previously, saying, well, what are they going to do? They're going to go to this and putting shit on them. Well, as opposed to what? Your organization doing sweet fifths of FA, which has been fuck all, so we get it.
Yeah, well, this is what we've been saying from day one from this COVID. We're happy to see someone actually do something. At least give it a go. If you fail, at least you can hold your head high and say we gave it a go. And that's correct. I don't give a fuck about what these organisations think of me. They're no friends of mine. They're never going to come to our party. They're never going to help the show out. They've made that very clear in the past. And quite frankly, I don't want anything to do with these organisations, the way they act. I don't want to lower the standard of my show bowing down to these basically two completely useless organisations. Completely useless. I don't want anything to do. I wouldn't want their name on my show anyway. Just a goddamn embarrassment. So I couldn't give a crap about what people think. When we have something to say, we just say it. And this is the messages I get from people as well, from emails and texts and everything through the show, that they love our no bullshit. We just say it how it is, and we don't pander to any of these organisations. If we have something to say, we just say it. And that's exactly how it should be. So we're not going to pander to them. We're not going to try and mince our words. If they do something right, we're going to say it. And if they do something wrong, we're going to say it. And if people who are diehard fans of these organisations don't like it, I don't really care. I just don't care.
I've noticed a few comments, Aaron, in the thing saying the NSC needs to get themselves out there. People need to know who they are. They need to be known. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but they're only new. They're only in a fairly new situation. I know Neil, who's running it with Peter. I know Neil was formerly part of the Combined Firearms Council, and it's good. I'm not sure if I can't remember if I said it years ago. I said he should have gone because when you're part of the Combined Firearms Council of Victoria, you have a bunch of organisations that you've got to run everything by before you put information out. I'm kind of happy he's decided to go out on his own. And, obviously people are joining him, much to many other people's disgust because they're taking away membership money from other organisations. And, this is what happens. People are going to go where they feel that organisations have their best interests at heart. Will we succeed? Maybe not, but again, That's why we need the money for the immediate injunction, to stop the police from doing this. I mean, they're going to keep doing it. We said back a couple of weeks ago, if we remember, for people listening, once the COVID restrictions get knocked on the head or whatever happens, they're going to go after us for something. I knew it was going to happen, and it was much worse than we thought. They ended up trying to ban, well, they are currently and will be successful in banning 8 firearms in Western Australia. So we knew it was going to happen. Again, organisations in WA never heard sweet fifths of fuck all from any of them, didn't do anything about it. And then, again, we've got an organisation from Victoria having to make, things in WA. And, WA is going to be a hard slog. I think we're not going to win that. I think I've heard from Neil, and that's going to be a tough thing, and we're probably not going to win that. But, you got to try, man. You got to try. But then again, what they try and do is they try and get it out of the tribunals into court, because they know it's going to cost $250,000 to fight it in court. So, and often they just don't even care what the tribunal says. They just do their own thing. They don't care about having been asked for information, evidence, paperwork. They believe they're what would you say, entity unto themselves, and they don't need to follow the law. That's how the police are acting. So it's mind-boggling. You can't even get the police to do what the tribunal's asking them to do. They just believe this is a mere formality. We can do what we want to do. Very sad times indeed. We're seeing it in Victoria. We're seeing it in WA. The police minister and the police commissioner should be pulling their asses into line big time and saying, no. I run the show here. You do as I say. Get your foot soldiers in order. But it could be coming from them too anyway. So you don't know where these gun laws are coming from. You don't know if it's just the police. You don't know if it's the government. You don't know where this shit's coming from.
I think it's just one big cesspool of pollies all agreeing on it, I think, and we'll never know exactly. There'll be a whole heap of them that are doing this, just like a big sewage of muck. These politicians will be doing it. That's all they are. Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Izzy has brought up a very good thing. Thank you for the super chat. If COVID thing has taught us anything, it is that Cat H mandatory shoots are not warranted or needed when it comes to public safety. That's 100% right, and I think I was saying this to someone the other day about it. That we have to have less shoots per year now because of COVID, like this year and last year or whatever it was, because of COVID. And no one's gone on a big killing spree because of it, because they haven't done enough shoots, have they?
Yeah.
So totally useless. Mandatory. If you want to own a handgun, you should own a handgun. If you want to go 50 times a year, once a week, you can. If not, you can go once or twice a year. Some people don't have the time. Some people can't fit it in. But when they do have time, they want to go do it. It's like having a boat every single day of the week, and people just use it when they want to use it. It's just, mandatory shooting is one of the dumbest things there is. And it is what is hurting the sport. It is what is hurting handgun shooting in Australia. The amount of messages I get from people saying, I'd love to have a handgun, and I've got friends who want to go into handgun shooting. Oh, but the hassles, I don't want to have to turn up 6 times a year. It's a waste of my time. I can't fit it all in, and I don't want to run the risk. If I can't do it, the cops are going to come and take my handguns off me. And it's what's killing. That is what the main thing is killing the sport, is the mandatory shoots. And we know these genuine reason clubs are not going to want to change that at all, because it's just lining their pockets.
It's interesting. I've just got here. Old Plexi said, I got his non-shooting friends to join the NSC, so that's pretty good. If you remember from last week, Megan, remember she had a firearm seized because she was living in the house with a bunch of people. So she just said she spent $5,500 on a lawyer and for the tribunal. So, it has to go for a lawyer to go to the tribunal, and you may not even be guaranteed to get your guns back. But this is the problem, guys. See, they've got this is where people got to realize they've got unlimited funds to bankrupt you. They've got the funding of the state. The funding of the state is pretty much endless. So us poor bastards have got to pay thousands and thousands, sometimes up to hundreds of thousands out of our own pocket. And people just can't afford that. And that's how they try and bankrupt you. That's how they try and get your gun license off you. They'll try whatever they can to cost you as much issues as they possibly can to get that gun license off you. And they know it's going to cost you thousands out of your own pocket. And generally the courts don't really rule on, only in some situations, depending on the severity of the crime or alleged crime, about getting your money back if you actually win, because the public interest about firearms cases and stuff, they believe that you probably shouldn't get your money back because it's a serious case. It involves firearms. Same thing happened to Brad Towner with Armored Heaven. I mean, 26 minutes, they said Joel Blasters, that he was not guilty. He spent $150,000 and lost his business, his stock, his wife, his home. And guess what he got back for it? Sweet fifths of FA, which means he got zero back from the government. I know I spoke to his lawyer about 6 weeks ago, and we're maybe going to do a chat about it and how the case went, but we'll probably do that a bit more down the track when they get a bit more information. But that's what we're dealing with, man. They can bankrupt you, man. They've got endless money to do whatever they want to do to you, and there's nothing you can do about it, man. It's a very sad state of affairs.
Yeah, well, I've talked to people who've been to tribunals and that for firearms for absolutely stupid things, and they said the cops are treated as a game. It's an absolute game to them, a bit of fun, a bit of a day out of the office, a bit of fun. They don't give a shit about what happens. They don't care that your sport's gone. You're going to lose all the money that you've ever invested in it. They don't give a shit about that. To them, they tell me, you see these cops' faces, and it's just a bit of fun for them. It's a day out, like a school trip. And
that was more so in WA as well. When you go to the tribunal, they just treat you with disdain, man. Like it's just a joke to them. It's just like even if they get orders against them, they're probably not even going to follow the orders of the tribunal anyway. They'll just keep appealing until they get the decision they want. Same thing happened in New South Wales. I've been waiting. I keep saying this again just to follow up. I call the registry again. What's happening with my license? Remember, we're into September. I reapplied in February. I got an email from a young fella on Facebook saying, mate, he's been a year. He applied on the 9th of September, 2019, and still hasn't been issued a license. So he goes, is there any problem? Is there any issue? No, I just got to wait. A year later, man, it just struck off a year. So anyway, I ended up helping him to go to his local member. We went to the police minister. We went to his local member as well. And I said, mate, we'll just keep me in the loop. I even wrote up the emails for him just to, he just didn't seem confident in that area. So I wrote it all up. He sent it. He got on the phone with them. And we'll see what happens, man, over the next couple of weeks. And I said, mate, you keep on to them. If they don't respond, get on the phone with them 2 weeks later. Mate, I wrote to you. What's happening? I need an update. So, you got to do something, man. You got to keep earning their money and their paychecks.
Yeah, I can't believe the bullshit with your license. When I got my license, I think it was last year or this year. No, it was last year I got it renewed. My handgun license, because up in Queensland there's 2 licenses, concealable and your firearms license. The handgun license, concealable, literally it was okayed when I woke up the next day. I got the thing saying, yeah, it's all good. So I can't tell how many people had time to check it out. And then my rifle license came through the confirmation a week later. So it's
so many problems, man. It's just, there's so many things we could talk about. It's just sad, really, man. And again, we've just got to stop talking. The organizations have got to stop talking. The pro-gun parties have got to stop talking and actually start somehow. I don't know how. I mean, many years ago under John Tingle for the SFP in New South Wales, I mean, one guy was able to negotiate public land hunting because he was a highly respected individual within Parliament. Now, I mean, what's that, 2005, 2006, 15 years later, we've had, well, I'd say no meaningful legislation that's made life easier for shooters, not one. Same in Victoria, same in Queensland, same in Western Australia. We've got representatives in, New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia. And I'm sorry, but the sad reality is they've just not been able to achieve. But it makes sense because they've got no power. And if the best we can do is 13 to 14 politicians in Parliament over 25 years since Port Arthur, I mean, that is a failure. That is, not from them, but for shooters to have not voted them in. And not putting them first, saying, well, I get it, man, gun ownership's not your first love. You're looking after economy or, whatever you want to vote for, Labor, Liberal, which I don't know why you would. But anyway, there's still people out there that do that because shooting is not their number one priority, which I get, fair enough. But then don't come and try and have a say in what goes on if you're going to vote for the same dickheads that are going to keep trying to take your guns away. Labor, Liberal, National Party, Greens, Animal Justice Party, all this goes without saying, obviously, but a lot of people doesn't. I still know shooters voting Labor and Liberal. Madness, absolute madness.
Well, doesn't the fisher and shooters' preferences go to Labor?
Well, that's what they said in the last thing. But yeah, I mean, that's what
not good.
they put a thing about there saying, well, you're only voting. You decide where your vote goes because you fill out both below the line. But yeah, okay, that's fine if you fill out below the line. But most people don't because they want to do what the parties wants them to do, which is put that one above the line. So then they dictate where the preferences go. Which I get it. They want to get they want to get into Parliament. They want to do the best deal possible, and that's how they got to do it. If they did that and actually got into Parliament, well, that'd be good. But it never seems to work out in our favour.
Yep, exactly. So let's just take a little breather and thank everyone for being here. It is awesome. We're up to 181. So if we can get 20 more people, get your mates on the phone, tell them to get on, and we're going to crack that 200 continuous views, which will be awesome. Every week the show's just getting bigger and bigger. By the end of the show, we're getting close to 1,000 views. So it's unbelievable. So we'd like to thank everyone for that. So please hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and get some more people on the phone. 20 more people we need, and we're going to crack the 200. So if you just phone up your mates just to get on, we'd really appreciate it. It'd be awesome. And once again, we can't do the show without you guys. You're just absolutely awesome.
And we've already had, I guess, 3 thumbs down. There must be 3 stooges from these political parties or 3 stooges from these organizations that just can't handle the truth. Well, that's up to them. What do you do, man? You can't please everybody.
Well, we had one before the show even started. One guy gave it a thumbs down. So just it'll be the regular trolls. You always get about 3 now, lately 4 people having a bit of a cry, dummy spit, and giving it a thumbs down. It must be the same 4 every week, I think. But it could be anything because we've got so many enemies here. But I don't really care at all.
This could all seem like common sense to me, but obviously it's not. So.
Not to some people, it's not. You're always going to get your stooges who die hard, AA or Shooters Union or NSC or anything. You're always going to get the people that are so committed to one thing, to Fish and Shooters Party, to Liberals, whatever. No matter what you do in life, you're going to get people who are just so die hard into that one thing, like gun manufacturers, the people who like the certain guns. You always got to get the people who are so committed to them. And you say one thing out of line, you're growing horns and you're the devil.
Yep, agreed, man. And yeah, we're up to 188, man. Shit, we're kicking ass. Unbelievable.
190, it says here. 10 more, guys. Make those phone calls. Do a ring around. It's like a telethon. Come on, guys.
Do you pledge $150 to whatever cause? Yes. Okay, great. Oop, next person.
And we still got the torch fund going for Jason. So we still got that going.
Yeah. So anyway, but getting back to that, whilst people are jumping on and getting excited and so forth. Again, jump on that link, guys. It's on my podcast page. It's the Stop Vic Pol's COVID Threat to Shooters. If you can jump on there, if you got $5, guys. I'm seeing names on now. I'm not sure if these people are in our live feed, but you got John Rush, Andy Olive, Grant Schubert. Patrick Leroux, just to name a couple, Joseph Sherman, Hans Wittenven, Dan Sover, bunch of anonymous ones, Matt Cole, and a few other bunch of people. So if you're one of those, congratulations, guys. I mean, there's no reason. We should have 1,000 people on here easily have donated by now. Just beggars believe how we're at 100. We're at 6,341, which is great. But 121 donors over, 1 million shooters. Failure of the highest order, guys. So jump on there, guys. $5, $2, anything. We need to get this injunction. We need to, and again, I've said this before. Me and Aaron said the same thing. If NSC don't do the appropriate things either, they'll be getting the same treatment if they don't do the same thing. We're just hoping that they want to be what the shooters want them to be. And I've got no reason to put shit on them at the moment, but if that changes and they do something that I don't think is appropriate, then I will be telling you. So we're not, regardless of whether they advertise on my show, everyone gets told, you don't buy opinions. Simple as that. You know what I mean? If we do something we don't like, we're going to say it. If that's not agreed upon, don't advertise with us. Don't come on board because it's just going to cause issues later on. So understand it right now.
Yeah, and you don't want to get Jason upset at all. You should have heard him on the phone the other day when we're talking about this. Jesus, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was unbelievable. Jason was absolutely going off. I was like, I was just standing there dumbfounded, going, Jesus, this is the same person? What's happened to him? It's like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. What? Was
Hulk
it good or
smash.
bad? Good or bad? Good or bad?
Hey, I think it's good. You got to get worked up. No, I keep telling you, James, no more PC. AHP, no PC anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep it reasonable, guys. You do have to keep, again, when we remain professional, we go off a bit annoyed at sometimes, but we just want the best for shooters. I wish people would understand that. I'm not the enemy. If you're doing something wrong, at least that I perceive to be not good for shooters, I'm just going to say it. Don't have a go at me. I know Aaron said it perfectly. There's a lot of rusted on supporters for political parties, whether it's Labor, Greens, Liberal Democrats, shooters, fishers, whatever it may be. Again, go talk to them about it. They're the ones that aren't doing the right thing. We're just reporting on it. So if you don't like it, go speak to them. And if you do support what they're saying, well, then, you're probably not friends of ours because, we don't agree with that sort of stuff and we're not going to support that. So tough, basically. That's all I can really say on the matter. It's just, again, look at the information. As we always said, take the emotion out of it. Look at what's happening. Be independent. But again, unfortunately, you get, like Aaron said, you got people that, are hardcore on one manufacturer and you say one thing about it, if it's just off the cuff comment, they're like the world has ended. They come out exploding in anger. It's just like, mate, just get over that. Just stick to the facts, stick to the information. So.
Exactly. And thank you, Debbie. Debbie, we've got so many new people on here that I haven't seen before. It's absolutely fantastic. People commenting. We just got literally hundreds and hundreds of messages tonight, and we're not going to be able to get through them all, guys. I'm very sorry.
I think we should start, and I'll just I'm on the bottom. Oh, hang on, I'm on the bottom looking at all the people's things, so maybe we'll start doing a bit of that. And let me say one thing. Cracker said, what's the donation for? Well, I think it's to fight partly for the case of one of these people and to seek an immediate injunction on taking away people's licenses in Victoria for breaching COVID restrictions. I don't think that's a reason to take someone's gun license. It's not an excludable offence under the legislation. But again, they just keep, what are you going to do? How do you fight the police? They've got all the money in the backing of the state. So again, we need money, guys. That's the whole point. We need money. We need to fight these people. Like, let's do this, let's get excited about it. Let's, again, every case we should be fighting. WA gun bans, COVID-19 restrictions in Victoria, gun bans in Queensland, like the Ruger, gun bans in New South Wales with the Ruger 9mm, appearance laws. Again, let's connect the dots. Let's do it.
Yep, exactly. And thank you, Zero G-Force, for your $5 donation. Don't think guns should be free for all, but which I must disagree. I think we should have rocket launchers if we want to have rocket launchers. And I've always wanted to own a tank. Free for all, but the few rights we still have under attack. Keep up your no bullshit talk, guys, and if you can buy a gun. And thank you very much for that. That is awesome.
I mean, even initially, I always say, like, the first thing, I think getting rid of appearance laws, if it meets the criteria for that action, it should be allowed. And suppressors, I think that'd be at least immediately, my 1 and 2 would be absolutely the number 1 and 2, I think, and then obviously from there, more serious would be obviously self-defense, getting rid of registries and fire and registration, those types of things. That'd be the sort of more longer term thing. But, again, shooters are losing their licenses over some COVID restriction for being 1 kilometre away from their home more than they should be. So how on earth are we going to get suppressors and appearance laws and stop this, like when they took the wedge tail gun? Someone's mentioning that in the comments as well. I mean, we've got no chance. It's just going to be a constant cut-by-cut basis of constant bans. And we've seen that. And people say, well, but we've got to keep what we have. We're not keeping what we have, guys. I mean, you'd have to be off your head to not realize there's ban after ban after ban, year after year after year, restriction after restriction after restriction. Come on, get with the program a little bit. Like, we're way behind. And we haven't achieved anything at a political level. It's all, I had one, I'm not going to say who it was, but we had one guy the other day with a friggin' WD-40 can. I'm not a criminal. Mate, you're a politician for a pro-gun party, for Pete's sake, and you're holding a can of WD-40 going, I'm not a criminal. How is that helping me make legislation, for God's sake? Really? I mean...
Yeah, that was completely pathetic. Hey, I don't care if you say who it is. Fuck.
Yeah, I was not going to. I just no point, mate. You'll get the trolls that'll come out and start, we're the worst people in the world when you got a guy carrying a WD-40 can saying, I'm not a criminal, hashtag, I'm not a criminal on a piece of paper. I mean, how is that helping shooters? I mean, it rallies up a few idiots on Facebook, fine, but, it's not actually doing anything or achieving anything. That's, again, get into Parliament, make relationships, build legislation, build around people. I mean, if you're going to be adversarial, there's times for that, but there's also times to work with people if you can do it. And if you can't do it, then why am I voting for you if you can't achieve anything? Like, we need more people in Parliament. Yet we've been saying that since 1996, and we haven't achieved that. So where to from here? We've said it, legal action.
Yep. And also, if you're in Parliament and you're pro-gun and you advertise you're pro-gun, if the government needs your help on something, don't budge. Okay. Bring in suppressors. That's it. You want me to sign this away? You bring in suppressors tomorrow. End of story. No negotiation. It's up to you. And stand to it. Just say, this is what we want. Or give them a list of 5 things, because they're going to try and beat it down, and be flexible and maybe take 2 or 3 things off that list, but keep 2 things on you can get. Stand up, grow some balls. Just don't sign away, like you said when the government sold the power poles down in your state, and the fish and shooters just absolutely fucked it up like there was no tomorrow. Absolutely disgusting.
They sold off the ports, and someone said here, I just want to, that's very important. Sergeant Sirius said WD-40 can. What did I miss? There's apparently legislation in New South Wales that's being drafted up that would stop people from basically working on their firearms and things, I think, being illegal. So, obviously, gunsmithing equipment, I would say there's just certain things there that could be, criminalized, or it could be an issue saying, well, you're working on guns, so therefore you're in trouble. So it's basically saying, if I've got this tool, meaning WD-40, then, I'm not a criminal. It's just a can of WD-40. But again, listen, I get it, but again, it's just not helping us. It's just, what does that do? Again, I can post on Facebook. I'm not getting paid $180,000 per year. So I'd like that. Oh, shit, it'd be not double, but it'd be, probably 80% more than I'm getting now on my wage. I'm on a good wage, but, I'd like 180, and fuck, I'm on TV, not TV. I've been on radio, your job is to advocate for shooters. I just don't understand what's happening. I'm really saddened by it, to be honest. And it just doesn't seem to have changed over the last 5 years, which is quite sad, but,
that's 180 grand a year, and they're not working full 12 months, are they? It's only like 4 months worth of work or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and I say to people, listen, if we work out just very quickly how many politicians from, let's say, pro-gun, so we'll go One Nation, Shooters and Fishers, Liberal Democrats, they're the main ones I'd choose, obviously, now. So we've got 2 in New South Wales, 3 in Victoria. We've got 1 SFP in Victoria, 2 LDP in Victoria. That's 5. We've got Rick Mazza in WA. That's 6. We've got Aaron Stonehouse. That's 7 in WA. We've got the 3 Katter guys in Queensland. So what's that, say 10 or 11? We've got Pauline Hanson, per se. Malcolm Roberts, One Nation. That's 12. So let's say we've got about 13. So if you work out 13 times that by roughly about 180,000, I mean, how much is that, Aaron? Let's have a look. Well, you talk for a second. I'll work that out for you very quickly. If I work it out, sorry, guys. 100. You go talk for a sec.
Yeah. Well, some really good questions coming in here. Geez, just don't know what to pick. Hang on, we'll get some up here.
I've got it here. I'll talk while you're doing that. It's 180,000. So we've got 13. I think there's more 15 pro gunners, right? $2,340,000. So let's say it's 50. Let's say it's actually 15. $2,700,000. I mean, do you guys think we're getting $2.7 million worth of advocacy on a yearly basis? And if you work that out, most of those guys have been in for 4 or 5 years. Some of them longer. Times that by 5 years. $13.5 million of advocacy over 5 years. A lot of them have been in more than that. So I don't know. Do you guys, let us know in the comments. Do you believe we've had in the last 5 years $13.5 million worth of advocacy? I know they had, he was not a bad guy. He was quite a nice guy, Daniel Young in Victoria. So there was an extra person down there. David Lionhelm missed out as well at the last election as well. I mean, we've got a lot of people there. I don't know, $13.5 million. Let us know if you think we've got, that worth of advocacy out of our politicians that are pro-gun. I'd say no. It's me.
I'd say no as well, because I'm just not a political person. I just can't stand them. I just think they're a total waste of space myself. So some questions. Here's Debbie. Could you please advise where I can go to make a donation to such a worthy cause? Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe and have fun hunting. Well, Jason and me are good worthy causes, and we both have Patreons. That's one thing. It helps to make our gun reviews and Jason's awesome podcast. So we can definitely, there's one good cause to donate to. I will, if I remember after this podcast, I'll put the link to the GoFundMe in the description here. I'll try and do that before the night's out. So, yep. So that's the best cause you can donate to is Jason and me on Patreon, I think.
But if you're not going to, I mean, again, National Shooting Council, I think, until they, give us a reason not to, again, we should have that, money from that fund should have been raised in a couple of hours. It does take people to donate, to get the word out and stuff like that. But man, it's a good cause, man. Like, and when I've been burnt in the past by GoFundMes, me and Aaron have been burnt before, and we're very not inclined to share GoFundMes. But in this situation, we thought it was a worthwhile cause to throw our 2 cents behind. If we can get something out of the Victorian government based on this money being spent, it costs money. How do we expect it to happen? So, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Is something interesting. Megan, she, as you know, had her guns taken off her because we talked about this last week, because of a family member living in the house that couldn't be near guns. So they took her guns, which is totally the wrong thing to do. Second night I spent on my hunting property, I got rounded up by a dingo. All I had was a knife, so I hope I get my guns back and going to spend a lot more time hiding in the truck. Lots of laughs. Yes, not good. You definitely, I know when I'm out on properties, I always like to have a shotgun on me just in case something comes up to me that you don't like. So, yep. So basically, ridiculous gun laws could have put her life in danger. The pack of animals.
Just wanted to say, Peter here, because I'm going through the bottom ones. He has been listening, not reading. If I missed it, please, where do I donate? Cheers, guys. Thursday nights are now way better. Go to nationalshooting.org.au, nationalshooting.org.au. And if you go to the blog post, it's one of the most recent ones from the 9th of September 2020. It says NSC moves on immediate injunction against Victorian police. It's in the second paragraph. It says click here to donate, mate. So, or you can go on our Facebook pages. If you scroll a couple down, I'm not sure, there's a day or two ago now, so they might be down one or two posts. But yeah, there's a link there to people wanting to donate. So now we're up to 6,391 with 122 donors. Good to see some guys putting their money where their mouths are. I mean, we've got 180 people on this stream. Or plus 188 now. I mean, we should minimum have another 100 donations by the end of tonight, I would hope.
Yeah, 191 right now. It's saying on
the biggest show, the biggest ever.
Yeah, the biggest show. Guys, just ring around. We need 19 more people to bust that 200. 20 more people. We got to break the 200. It'll be awesome. So, I'm down the bottom here as well. Thank you very much, BS MIDI, for the $10 donation. But yes, so another thing that I have said to Jason quite a bit on what's wrong with our entire gun system and licensing is our gun licenses and PTA system. Absolute garbage. I don't think we should have gun licenses. It should just be your right to go buy a gun, and you are checked every time you want to buy a gun. That's what I think it should be. What's the point of getting a gun license? You sit in a course of some safety course where half the people are asleep. It's a multi-question. They give you all the questions to it. You walk out, then apply for it, and everything goes in one ear out the other to most people. And so then you go apply for your license, and all it says is you're not a criminal at that exact time that someone clicks onto your application and does a check on you. And then you got a gun license. Apart from that, absolutely pointless. What it should be is every time you want to go buy a gun, you have to get a full background check. And can be done in the gun shop, basically on the spot, like they do in other countries in the world. And it works flawlessly all around the world because it's an up-to-date security check, up to the minute. And they'll say yes or no, he can't own a gun. And if you get on the no list, you go and get your guns taken off you for being a criminal. It's that simple. It works everywhere else. What's the point of this licensing? It's a complete black hole of money. Absolute waste, and it's just a shopping list for people who can hack in. Like there was a big security hack recently, wasn't there? Down in
I'm just having a look now. I was just thinking about it. I've just got to go back to my page. But yeah, the Service New South Wales here, mate, breached 180,000 people's data. And they're writing back to them. And I go, well, what are they going to say? Oh, we're sorry. Yeah, well, sorry doesn't cut it. You know, like I'm just having a look for it down here. Yeah, sorry doesn't cut it that you've now breached my details. What details did they get access to? I'm sure I'm on the system there at the RTA, or the Service New South Wales, it's now called, the fact that I've got a gun license and what my address is. So again, has my information been breached? You know, here it is. Alert. Service New South Wales has revealed around 186,000 customers' accounts were hacked as part of an April cyber attack, with 3.8 million documents were accessed by these hackers. Service New South Wales is now contacting all customers who have been affected by the cyber breach by registered mail. More details to come. Well, what are they going to do? They've already got the documents and information. What are they going to do? Offer me an apology? We should be suing them for letting their information. I mean, again, the only good information is no information at all. Why do you want more information to protect it behind an IT system? It makes no sense to me. Zero sense at all. You're getting sensitive information to put it behind an IT system that's being hacked. I mean, man, stupidity of the highest order from this government. But what do you expect? You know, what do you expect? They think it's the best thing, and they don't give a shit that your details have been cyber attacked and potentially could have your firearms stolen. They'll probably blame you that you didn't have the correct safe storage, or what did you do to stop the situation? Not my problem, man. Where were the cops? It's not my problem. You know, you guys should be out there enforcing the law, should be out there, conducting, what did you call them? Driving around, making sure people aren't committing crimes. But we know they do. And now our information potentially could be out there in the hands of criminals. Nothing we can do about it except we're going to get an apology. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, well, the Queensland Registry a couple of times have been found in the hands of criminals. Somehow they got a printout of the registry where all the guns are, even with names crossed off where they've robbed them and taken the guns. Risk registration does no good. It must go. That's another thing that is killing the sport, is registration, because it's just an absolute security leak in my eyes. And that's got to go. It's just no point of it. Other countries got rid of it because it's been deemed pointless.
100%, mate. What else we got there? Maybe we should start going through some questions. While you're looking at that, I'll just have a look at the bottom here. What do we got here? A lot of people coming in. 196 men I'm seeing on this side of the fence on the YouTube account. So
yeah, we need 5 more people to break that 200. Come on, guys, ring around. Get your mates just to click in for us. It'll be awesome. And 201 people. We have now cracked the 200 milestone on our podcast, all within something like 10 weeks, I think it is. Gone from zero. And we were going to be happy with 20 people. We were even saying that for weeks. I'll be happy if 20 people tuned in. And now we're cracking the 200. That is awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, questions.
I know I'm just speaking here. We know I won't say who it is, but we know we got Oscar on here. I know him if it's the person I'm thinking of. He says they need to revitalise sport shooting. My local SSAA range is filled with 70-year-old shootings, 100-year-old rifles who don't believe any competition other than bench rest. But I think that is the SSAA position. Yeah, mate, big changes needed at SSAA. We've been speaking about that earlier in the show. If you guys haven't have just tuned in, and yeah, they need to build, and they need to, again, I don't know what's stopping them from being a bit more aggressive legally. I just don't understand what's stopping them. Is there something stopping them? What's stopping them? Is it the handouts from Rangers? Is it the genuine reasons? Is it the they want to keep being invited back to these, committee groups and all that. But if you're not getting results at the committee group level, meaning these government committees, then what's the point of being part of the committees anyway? And, again, correct me if I'm wrong, we've not seen them get anything over the line in the last 25 years for shooters. So we know that because the legislation proves that, because there are nothing. There is nothing to speak of in any state around Australia. So, again, we know that by the information we've received, because there's no legislation proving otherwise. And if anyone's got it, let us know what the legislation is in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much to Peter Whitehouse for a $5 donation, and our good friend Explosive Bagara. $10. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I got my Tika and TAC 12 sitting and waiting for me to at two different gun shops, and I'm wondering what would happen if the shops go into foreclosure. Donated $50 to NSC. Awesome donation there to a good cause. Yeah, that's something I have wondered. What happens if a shop goes belly up and they got your guns for any reason?
Generally, what happens is it depends if they've gone into receivership and they're bankrupt. Your money's gone. Just that, unless the company somehow has a backup and ceases trading and makes good on all that money. But I wouldn't be if I had to pick one, I definitely wouldn't be betting on it. That's for sure. I mean, anything that goes into receivership or bankruptcy, you get zero. So yeah, man, I feel for you. But again, look what's happening in Victoria. They haven't shut gun shops now, so why were they shut in the first place? Again, it's all a political game. We're seeing that, guys. It's a very, very sad state of affairs. I'm glad they're not shut. That's a good thing. But, again, support them by purchasing online, getting shit sent to your house. I think that's going to be good. Try and support them where you can. Do what you can, I guess, financially. Everyone's struggling at the moment, and a lot of people are losing their jobs, and it's very, very sad state of affairs in Victoria, but not just Victoria, but around the country. And our only way to fight back is via legal avenues. And anyone saying they can't do it, I get it. It's expensive. Yeah, I get it. But again, we've got to get, again, there's only one, maybe two organizations that have sort of really got the money to be able to do that. And let's hope they, again, I'm not going to hold my breath. I've been waiting 25 years and it still hasn't happened. So, and we've achieved no legislation. At least in the last 5 years since public land hunting in New South Wales, there's been no achievements, man. That's just a fact of the reality, And how long do we have to wait before how many people do we need in Parliament before we can make a difference? If we haven't done it in 25 years, is it really going to happen at a political level? I think it needs to happen at a law level and a court level, and that's the only thing I believe in right now that's going to make a difference, and we keep pushing it at a legal level.
Yeah, and as we said earlier on in the show, I think it's a very sad day where shooters have to start funding action for themselves, for other shooters. It really is a very sad day. I'd like to see politicians chuck some of their $180,000 behind some of the so-called pro-gun ones. Why aren't they chucking money in? Get in there, guys. You're meant to be representing us. If you can't change the laws or make the laws or don't want to do anything, just keep your fat paycheck. At least give some of that to shooters. At least do something.
Yeah. I always said, Aaron, I'd love to. Surely there's got to be, out of a million shooters, that big fat rat rich, shooter out there that's got, there's a million shooters. Surely there's got to be some oil tycoon or, we thought it might be Clive Palmer, but he hates guns. But, somewhere it's in mining or finance or law or something that's just on big dollars that's happy to, fund the shooting sports or fund a legal avenue of the shooting sports. Surely there's got to be somebody, man, like out there that's got that can, some of the richest people in Australia could be shooters. The top 20 richest people could have a shooter. Putting money aside, even if we get interest off that money and we use that to fund legal action, I think, that'd be a positive move forward. But mate, obviously some of these people that they don't want the general public or media to find out they're into guns, they own guns, so I'm just keep waiting for it, but, we'll see.
Well, Clive Palmer lives not far from where I live, so maybe I should just go down on the weekend and knock on his front door and ask if he's got 5 minutes to talk about the gun situation.
Sexy did said Palmer's too tight, needs a treadmill.
Yeah, well, geez, he might get another heart attack. He had a couple of heart attacks. I think he's lost a bit of weight.
Yeah, it's just sad, guys. It really is. But I don't know what to do. If you guys got opinions on where to from here, what would you guys recommend? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on where you think the battle will be won or lost. And again, I've been doing it for 10 years, and I just think the battle, like I said, I don't want to repeat it, but is at that legal level, because all other avenues, unfortunately, have been exhausted and have basically proved to be ineffective. And again, like I said, we know that by what legislation has been passed. I mean, we've got people that have been in Parliament God knows how long and have not tabled one piece of legislation to Parliament to make life easier for shooters. They say good things in the media, which I appreciate that, but that gets nothing over the line. That's just making us feel good to get votes, but doesn't actually achieve anything long term. So, and advocacy, they might give us a bit of advocacy, but again, if it's not changing at a legislative level, it's a waste of time. Like, sorry, it just is what it is. That's the reality. Take the emotion out of it. That only leaves the facts.
What we need is a mega famous person, like a celebrity, a proper, like a James Wood person that can has got the status, got the movie star appeal, that can come to us and and be a spokesman, sort of like Ted Nugent, I guess.
Maybe we need like a Chris Hemsworth or a who else was there, like a Hugh Jackman or Russell Crowe. He likes to get amongst it, the old Russell Crowe throwing things around. So
I like good old Russell Crowe. Maybe if anyone knows Russell Crowe, tell him to flick us a line, and we can have a bit of a talk to him on the live stream, which would be good.
Well, he just made a movie, didn't he, where he was like an angry person that gets in a road rage incident, and I can't remember what it's called. My mate watched it and said, mate, he was fantastic in that. He was really good. My mate always jokes. He goes, "Oh, he's like you," you know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, yeah, good on you," but
like you on the telephone the other day.
Yeah. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at it while you're doing that. Have you got any questions there to?
Yeah, so thank you, Mickey G, for the $5 donation. I'm sorry if I have missed some of your donation questions. The things just come up so fast on the screen here. 0.50 Dragon Claw air gun, very nice. Can we get them in Queensland? I need one in my life. I actually think we can have 50 cal air rifles, and someone said to me this week that we're going to be able to put in PTAs for 50 BMGs in Queensland soon, because they got rid of all this you got to ask permission and can't shoot on private land stuff with the higher calibers. And I was actually told by someone he is getting ready to put a PTA in for one, which would be awesome. That would be a very good leap forward. Me, I can't afford the $40 or $50 a shot, so I think I'll just stick to a 338 Lapua next time. Once I get the 6.5 working and I get the 300 rum up and running.
That Russell Crowe movie was called Unhinged, and I just read it here. Russell Crowe donates, it's only about £2,700 to Actors Drama School Place Fund, and then the next one says Russell Crowe helps pay for aspiring actor to go to drama school. Forget actors at drama school, Russell. Donate it to one of our organisations that are going to fight for our gun rights. Don't worry about the rest of it. You don't need to donate to that. Just gun rights, my friend.
Yeah, next time you're in Queensland, come over and come for a shoot with us.
Classic. Yeah. Anyway, get to some questions, dude. We've just gone off. We're over 205 at one stage, 209 at one stage. So
yeah, it's going great.
Just insane.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, just pick one randomly. Moron.
Hey, you just read those. I'm just going to read the other ones coming in.
Yep. I recommend marketing to young generations. Younger people are louder and more passionate compared to SSAA. It also revitalises gun ownership, advocacy, and shooting as a sport. Exactly, that's what we've been talking about. We've said that phrase. How many people know who run SSAA? Not me. No one can really name the top dogs there because they don't fucking do anything, so they don't get stuck in your mind, do they?
Someone said here, I was just no, it's all right. You go ahead. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead. Sorry, I just go.
Okay, our good old mate Chris Miller, WSAA, single load special old fart asses. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just reading through some of the comments and
Been waiting. This is from Phantom. Been waiting a month for my PTA. I was told that August PTAs were stuffed up by Services New South Wales, so they have to redo August PTA forms. Just one fuck up after the other with these guys. It's unbelievable.
And just these guys actually manage your information. I mean, just hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. I mean, can you believe it? Can you believe it? They just everything they're screwing up, information going walkabouts. I mean, a couple of years ago, I remember it was 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember I reported this on the podcast. They sent out about 300 details of security guards who had their pistols, and they sent it out to people that shouldn't have it. I mean, they screwed up that as well. I mean, again, why are you sending information for pistols and addresses to people on a spreadsheet to emails that shouldn't have the information? Like total breach of confidentiality, total breach of information. Man, it's just bad, dude. It's bad.
They even posted out firearms licenses to all sorts of people all over the countryside, didn't they? A few years ago, 3,000 licenses got posted out to the wrong addresses.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, more on muck-ups. Being 18, I want to start something with people my age, so we can introduce shooting as a sport to other people my age and actually market something. That'll be awesome, I guess. If you do something, get hold of me and I'll publicize it for you. Not a problem.
I wanted to bring up one thing too, very important about someone brought up the younger generation. Now, what people have got to understand too about that is, the younger generation, and some people might even listening to this now if they're younger, they don't remember Port Arthur. They don't know Martin Bryant. They don't know that 35 people were shot dead and 20 something others were wounded. I've been to the range 4 or 5 years ago, and the young shooters were like, "What's Port Arthur?" They don't know Martin Bryant. They don't know that a massacre happened in Port Arthur in Tasmania. So again, trying to educate when they grow up, this is the major problem I think we're going to struggle with, is they don't understand the system. They're born into this system now. Port Arthur, I mean, it was 25 years ago. I was 14 years old at the time. I'm 39 now. People don't know that, and they're born into this system believing that this system is good and don't have no idea what firearms were around before the 1996s, and have no idea, and probably some of them don't really have a care. They just grew up in this system and they don't know any different, and that's terrible for us as a group, that they don't know about it, and are they passionate about it as some of the older people? We've got a mixture of the old fuddy-duddies not wanting to do anything, the middle-aged people that know what's going on, that were around at the time and want to do something, and then the young shooters that just grow up in this system. They have no idea what it's about and why we should be fighting for our rights. And what are we going to do? Well, that's another topic altogether.
Yeah, yep. Here's David. Safety course, I feel, are very valuable learning tools for the dumbest. I don't know. When I did mine, there's some pretty dumb people there, and they were asleep, and they still. No, I told you the story before. One guy was asleep in the back of the room, and he still passed. I just don't think they do what they do. I think, maybe you should have like a 2-week practical course, and like a 2-weekend maybe practical course. And then you can show that. Don't worry about a license. But once you've done that, you can start buying your guns. But I just think licensing is a total waste of time and money myself.
And one thing, Zena Baby 01 says, want to donate but don't know how. Nationalshooting.org.au for that particular fund. As I said, it's the 9th of September 2020. NSC moves on an immediate injunction against Victorian police. So nationalshooting.org.au. The GoFundMe link is in the article. But maybe we'll get Aaron to put in at the end of this show by tomorrow morning or tonight. We'll put in the link at the top to the GoFundMe in the comment section below. What do you reckon, Aaron? Probably a good idea.
Yep, exactly. I'm about to put it in here right now. Here it goes.
Yep, perfect. Make sure it doesn't ruin our stream, man. We're not going to load it up and we're going to have to it's going to lose our connection, is it? Or
No, it's one hell of a big bloody link.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the yeah.
Oh, I think I've made a mistake. No, computers and me don't mix. Better get
All
rid
right.
of that.
Do that later. Let's get into some more questions, man. I'll have a read over some of the questions down here. Some James LR says, still waiting for my PTA for his 458 lot. As soon as I get it, Aaron, for a shoot of a cannon.
Yeah.
Get it up to you, so.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Especially they shoot a lot like that 500 Jeffrey. Real quick, easy reviews to make. 2 shots and it's all over. So it's really good. You guys are going to...
One sec. Andrew Tomic says, want to donate but only take credit cards. That's true, but if you've got your debit card, which acts like a credit card with the debit card, because I don't have a credit card either, but I've got one of those debit cards that's got the number of a credit card. So they do work, Again, it's not credit, it's just whatever you've got on your account in your checking or savings account. So just means so you can purchase stuff online, Andrew. So perfect. I mean, if anyone wants, someone can even pay me and I'll pay it on their behalf. Like, give me the money and I'll sort it out on their behalf. If you can transfer it to me, I'll fix it up for you and provide a receipt that I've done it for you. So, and Hardcore Unit made an interesting topic, an interesting topic. Me and you were talking about this, Aaron. Does NSC have a genuine reason? I said, no, not at the moment. And some people need to feel like they're getting value for their money, as in, they're providing a genuine reason. A lot of people feel like they need to get something for their money to warrant putting their money behind it, whether that's a genuine reason. People are funny. They don't just donate money most of the time. A lot of people don't, unfortunately. That's just human nature. But, if they do get it, I know Aaron's not happy with organisations getting genuine reasons, but hopefully if we do get one that's got a genuine reason and still continues to fight, well, that's the ultimate goal.
I would pay more money for them not to be a genuine reason, because the money and the time that is spent on maintaining that genuine reason, which is a lot of work goes into it, can be spent fighting for us, and that money can go towards legal action. So I'd much rather put in $100 a year and they're not a genuine reason, and see them continuously bang in court dates.
That's us. Will other people do that, though? And obviously, they're not doing it. I mean, look, we're seeing that now, dude. We've had a bunch of people that have donated. I'm just going to refresh the page. $6,700, 127 donors, man. Like in what? 2 days ago. Really, we've got 127 people out of 1 million shooters that are donating to this cause. Mate, we're our own worst enemy. It's just the facts. And congratulations if you donated and you're on this stream right now. You guys are awesome. If you didn't, I don't know what you guys are doing. Again, this is our sport. This is our livelihood. This affects us. This then goes from Victoria to New South Wales to Queensland to WA. And then everyone's bitching while they're getting their licenses taken off. You happen to accidentally do the wrong thing, or you get an overzealous police officer.
Yeah, and guys, you can donate anonymously as well. So you don't have to put your name up there. So, which is good as well. So you can do that, which a lot of people, I know I like doing it that way. So no one actually can see your name.
Yeah, some people in the comments are talking about courses and stuff and courses users. I believe so too. I reckon, mate, if they're going to do something and it was mandatory, I just think there's nothing better. I don't know if you'll agree, Aaron, but I think people should be able to know how to use a firearm. That's just common sense, right? So I think we should say, get some training, even if it was just a day's training, getting people on the range, getting them shooting, getting them used to, no point sitting in a room when they don't know anything about firearms. I still reckon a 1 to 2 day course on getting people up to speed, on using all different types of firearms, pistols, 22s, high caliber stuff, and getting them on the range and getting them, nothing better than actual physical training, man, and getting them learn to shoot, getting them mounting scopes up on there, valuable training, not sitting in a classroom being guaranteed to pass.
It was like when I was an apprentice 30 odd years ago, right? I learned more being on the tools and being shown how to do something I ever did doing theory sort of paperwork.
Yeah,
definitely hands-on. It gets drilled into them more. That's the sort of courses I want to see. Just a course like that, as you said, just shoot all the time.
Yeah.
What are you smirking at?
Oh, no, just some of the comments. Some of the guys are saying that they've donated, and someone says, donate all super chats to next week's show to the NSC. I mean, it's, I don't know. It's, again, we're trying our best to bring these live streams to you, and giving, unheralded publicity to the NSC to try and get people to help out too. So,
I already donated quite a bit of money today to them. So, yeah. So, yeah, I did donate. So it's it's definitely get on there and donate. It's a sad day when we have to fund and the other organisations can't pitch in and do something. Sad day that we have to actually prop up legal action ourselves. But I think this is the future. It's what it's going to have to be. And this is half the reason why I think that shooting sports are slowly dying. They're just taking a bit by bit, taking them away. We've got no real leadership in the shooting sports whatsoever. I don't think.
It's sad. I'll tell you what, if I was in charge, man, it'd be totally different than what it is now. I mean, there'd be immediate changes, absolutely effective immediate changes. But, you've got these people that just got their egos way too big for their their heads, so to speak. And, like I'm the man and well, not really, mate. It's about the shooting sports. It's about all of us. That's where they went wrong. They started to believe their own publicity. They went wrong, man. They just did. And they eventually gave up on shooters, mate. They sold out. And it's just very sad, man. And, I've always said from day one, man, it's about the shooters, man. It's about the sport. It's about the rights. It's about, doing the right thing, man. Over all odds, doing the right thing, man. And it's not about profits. I see companies taking profits over the shooters' cause, and it's sad, man. It's sad.
It is. This is an interesting one from JR. PayPal cancelled my account for purchasing firearm accessories from overseas. Try and elaborate a bit more on that, JR. What did you actually buy? Some stuff like airsoft stuff through eBay or what? It's a bit rough, cancelling your PayPal account just for purchasing legal stuff.
Yeah. Archie says, Archie Kaboom, this is the first I've heard about this donation, and to donate, people need to know about so they can donate. Yeah, mate, I agree, but you've got to be on our social medias. That's what I'm saying. Instagram, I did Instagram stories about it, which went to Facebook. Me and Aaron posted about it. Again, jump on those things. We're posting every so often about these issues. Keep up to date. Make sure you click that like button and say, see all notifications. So again, you're seeing all or see all posts. So you're seeing every single post that we post. Because, mate, I've followed people and then I've thought, what happened to that person? And even though they're still posting, Facebook dictates what you do and don't see sometimes. So if you haven't clicked on that person's page for a while, you're just not going to see it, man. You're not going to see it. So, Aaron, I was going to say we can continue too. I'm not doing that thing later tonight, so we can continue.
Oh, sweet. Cool. So Peter is on here. He's the Vice President of the NSC. Hi, guys. It's Peter from NSC, Vice Pres. Huge thank you to you and your supporters for supporting the NSC. You're welcome. That's awesome. Thank you for watching NSC. Really appreciate that.
Down, Peter. Do not let us down. We're relying on you, buddy, and the NSC to actually do something and achieve something and just try their best. That's all we ask, man. That's all we ask. And you know what? Shooters are asking for transparency. They're asking for what you're going to do. Okay, we don't want, the ins and outs of a legal case, obviously, but this is what we're doing. This is the action we're going to take, and keeping us up to date and in the loop. None of this bullshit behind the scenes, talk, waffle crap. We just don't want that. We want transparency about what you're doing, how you're going to do it, and what we need to do to get that funded. Yeah,
and don't make Jason angry, please. I can't have another phone call like that.
I wasn't that bad. Bad at all, idiot.
You go, Jace. Did your hot date cancel?
No. As I said, most guys know we play a bit of Xbox on most nights, so my mate's not playing tonight. So,
it's actually going to get on tonight.
Oh, well, we may down the track. I don't know. It depends on how long you want to go, guys. We've been, we've been hitting it hard, and we've got lots of questions coming in. And
I'll go as long as you want to go, Jason, as long as people want to listen to us talk. We've still got 178 people. This is unbelievable.
What do you guys want to do?
So far.
Do you want us to continue or shut our pie holes? Which one?
Yeah. Yep. Positive question answers only, please.
Yeah.
National Shooting Council about the only group fighting for our rights. Exactly. They are the only ones. It's amazing how quiet the other ones have been. And they obviously have more members and make more money. It's just unbelievable.
Yes, talks about Colin Penfold says our only hope is the NSC. Guys saying keep going. it's just a lot of comments here. Are they George M? Are they like the double S double A?
No,
No.
no,
And
no one's like the double S double A.
yeah, if Peter's on here, I'm sure he'll answer any questions you've got in the chat if he's still on here. So, if you got any questions, put them in there for Peter.
Yeah, definitely. Ask NSC's right here. Ask NSC some questions, and we'll read out the answers from Peter, which is good. I'm wondering how many other organisations are watching this, wondering what the fuck we're saying about them. Okay, from David, if you want to change, it takes footwork by most people to convince our clubs to refer new members to support active supportive political parties. Too hard for most people. I agree. Yeah, both Jason and me have been trying that for years. Politicians just want their fat paycheck, and once they're in there, they're in there. They're not going to rock the boat to upset that paycheck. Yeah, when it comes to political stuff, I think it's pretty much a waste of time. I don't think they're going to really help us. And the ones that really do help us get voted out or pushed out of their party, like David Linehelm and Malcolm Roberts.
Yeah. And Fraser Anning.
Fraser Anning, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, not, yeah, Fraser Anning, not Malcolm Roberts. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
He got back in and then he left the party, and it's just, but again, same thing. We didn't get much on that level either. We didn't get much we did got representation. I mean, I still maintain it. I was disappointed that Lionhelm didn't get back in. For that guy knows his gun rights, man, because he believes in it. I never had to question anything he said because it was just natural for him because that's what he believed in. And I truly hope he runs at the next election again for New South Wales. I mean, it was just he would have been good in trying to at least get something. Who knows what's going to happen? But trying something, anything, getting together with the other pro-gun parties, trying to form relationships, anything.
Exactly. And thank you, Lockie. Please do continue. We shall. And we got another super chat from Mickey S, or super sticker from Mickey. Thank you very much. It is just so good every week seeing new people. There's names here I've never seen before. So it's
one sec, Aaron.
Awesome.
You can have your say. This is a very good one. And while Peter's listening, it says hang on, sorry, mate. Me mic went funny there. NSC. Here you go, Aaron. This is what you were been waiting for. So Peter says from the NSC is in the process of organising insurance and the genuine reason, but LRD and Vic don't make it easy. So what do you want to say about that? Here you go.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, Peter. Don't become another shooters union or that have no ranges, nothing. You got nothing. You can't provide anything. I'm sorry. Just don't do it. I know you probably don't want me to say it. You're a good organisation doing really well. Don't waste time on it. You don't have ranges, so people are still going to have to go join another club and spend more money to do their shoots because you have to shoot your guns somewhere. Yeah, just don't do it. It's going to take resources and time away. You're fighting right now.
Yeah, you cut out there for a second, but I guess I'll give you a flip side alternative. Or a flip side view, I guess, if you are going to do that, which I guess you're probably going to do it anyway. So regardless of what we say, just when if the money comes in, use it wisely and do what the shooters want you to do. Stick with your tenure, stick with your vision of what you want to do moving forward. And, if you do that, I don't see where we're going to have any issues with the NSC at all. So if you do decide to do that, use the money wisely, fight for people's rights. You're not going to have ranges to maintain, so that money from genuine reasons should be put back into the legal cases as should be. So, and if you do that, great. We'll never have any problems.
And don't be afraid to take the government head on when you are a genuine reason. That's my biggest thing. I've see it with the other clubs, backflipping and don't doing anything because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. Just don't become one of those. That's all I say. You're doing a good job as it is. Just don't be one of them. Mick Becker's $5. Oh, sorry.
Read that one. It's about to disappear.
Yeah, Peter from NSC needs to get the name out there. Heaps here tonight. First time they've heard of you guys in current battle. Definitely. Yep. They do have a very active Facebook page. and they actually write some very good articles, well written and very informative. So, which is very good, like very professional sort of articles compared to the other lobby groups out there that have some pretty bad articles that we've seen over the times. With what was it? One article started off with "cops are wankers." So it's not really a good look for an organisation to be saying that, or a lobby group they were to be saying that. And I find their very professional sort of website, Facebook page, and the articles they write.
Hmm.
So here we have,
You got
okay,
one from Neil, super chat from Neil, one of our regular listeners as well.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, g'day Neil. Thank you very much, Neil, for $25. Much appreciate it. And he's the partner of Debbie, who's got Debbie hooked into shooting, which is really good to see. Yeah.
Oh, interest. This one was important. So M. Gabriel, I'm not sure if he's a shooter, said, "Pardon my, he's from the US. Okay, US ignorant, but what is a genuine reason all about?" In a nutshell, in Australia, you need a genuine reason to buy a firearm. You just can't go buy one off the gun shop because you want one. You have to have a genuine reason. So that could be you apply for a genuine reason when you get your license. So sport shooting. You've got pest control, hunting. Obviously, you've got primary producers, which is farmers or ranchers in the United States, and you've all category or the higher category stuff. So for semi-autos and that, which most 99% of shooters can't get, for your like contract shooters or pest control contract shooters who are being paid. Yeah, but in a nutshell, you can't just buy a firearm over here just because you want one. You have to be a member of a club. That gives you the genuine reason to get the gun. So there's just a bit of perspective for M. Gabriel about getting guns in Australia. You can't just buy one because you just go, they look shiny, I love one, I want to get one. It doesn't work like that in Australia, mate, unfortunately. Wish it did, but unfortunately it doesn't.
And we don't have rights over here, so we don't have. They don't see us having a right to self-defense. So self-defense is definitely you'll not get a gun license if you say you want it for self-defense because you can't here in Australia defend your life. It's just not allowed. It's that simple.
Matt
But
said donation complete and membership locked in from the NSC. Well done, Matt. But David Curte, I don't understand this question, mate. Maybe elaborate. He says, so what can the NSC do for us if they get shoved out of Parliament anyway? Well, they're not in Parliament, mate. They've got no elected representatives in Parliament. They're an organisation. They're not a political party. So not sure what you mean by that, mate. But you just, like I said, legal action. That's the only avenue, mate. Tribunals, legal action, funding that is our ultimate goal, I think, in pushing forward. Like I said, advocacy hasn't worked. Pro-gun parties, unfortunately, haven't worked. They have to a certain degree in some things, but in the last 15 years, like I said, we just haven't seen the results in the last 15 years that, because they don't have a balance of power. So 4 years have gone, wasted because, they don't have any power unless they can negotiate with government. If government says, no, we're not changing anything, they're just sitting there collecting the cash and there's no until the next election, and maybe we get a balance of power. But like I said, that's a 1 in a 30-year thing that happens, and we had it in 2015 in New South Wales. And unfortunately, most people will agree it was just absolutely squandered. It was squandered on a handshake, and I just can't understand how something with Barry O'Farrell was done on a handshake. But again, I just wouldn't do that because I'm not an idiot. So anyway,
here's a good idea from Ram too. NSC needs to do a flyer with a free target on the back on every gun shop counter. Send me them. I will personally deliver to all gun shops in WA. It's not actually a bad idea. Yeah, sort of like a pizza box with a target on it.
That's probably one of my favorite things, man. Pizza. Oh, that's what dreams are made of.
Yeah, pizza, guns, and Jack Daniels.
Yeah, in your case. Daniels.
Yeah. Your case is vodka. Phantom, thank you for the $10. Should I get paid here up on the podcast? Oh, should I get paid her up on the podcast one night? You totally lost me.
Should get paid her up on the podcast. Means he's getting his missus into shooting or something. Sorry, Phantom. If you just let us know what you mean, but I'm not familiar. Yeah, sorry.
But we do appreciate the $10 super chat. Must be spell check or something on the phone doing that.
Yeah. David Curtis says, I like it. Hit him where it hurts. Exactly. You know what I mean? Again, no guarantees, win, lose, or draw. Majority probably going to be losses, guys. But, I think the ultimate goal is to get them to back off, at least as an interim, to back off and stop this, heinous attack on shooters constantly, like with the COVID restrictions, like the gun bans in WA, the gun ban on the Ruger Charger, the wedge tail firearm in Queensland, the eight guns banned in WA, the Savage was A22R in the Northern Territory, the gel blaster bans. I mean, again, this is the list. This is what we want to get. Back off our sport. Leave us the hell alone. We're good people doing the right thing.
Yeah, and Chris Miller says here, insurance would be good for the NSC. Definitely would. I would like to see just say get insurance before you get the genuine reason. Offer a really good insurance policy. That's probably a bit more than 20,000 because, as we know, it doesn't take much for $20,000 to stack up in firearms. Once you have a few firearms and scopes.
Yep, exactly. I think insurance, I hate to say it, I really hate to say it, but, I think insurance is a good thing to offer for $30 a year for 25, 30 grand's worth of insurance because, some shooters don't have a lot of gear. So I think that's fine. I think, that is valuable. I mean, I would rather that than the genuine reason to start with. But, I just like I've said to Aaron, and he disagrees somewhat, I guess, but I get why they're doing it because, again, it's going to bring more people in. But again, don't lose the vision. Don't lose the vision of what you set out to achieve. If you lose the vision over profits, that's not a good thing. I just don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. What about a bumper sticker from AJ Daz, where profits going to NSC would look good next to my AHP sticker? Yeah, it would do. That's good. Yeah, bumper stickers are good. Get the name out any way you can. In fact, I'm still waiting for my AHP sticker as well. After all these years.
I don't give bums my stickers, man. Sorry.
Yeah. I got no comeback, mate. You're just a prick. Phantom HD, $5. Okay. Should we get Peter up one night? Hate spell check. Yeah, Peter, welcome to come on the show sometime. We're not really an interview show because we are pretty informal. But yeah, we could always try something like that one day. We're open to anything. Or most things.
Yeah, I mean, what do you? I said no one's, and perhaps I've missed it, guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through the stuff. But what do you think the way forward is? We want your input about what you think the way forward is. What do you think it is? Is it more people in Parliament? Is it more donating at a grassroots level of advocacy, like we're seeing now with the NSC? What actually do you think is actually going to work? That's the most important thing, because we can sit here and babble like a bunch of idiots, but if people aren't going to get behind and support that cause, well, then what's the point? Like I said, I'm just going to go back to it again now, do a quick refresh. 127 donors still at 6,721, and we've got 1 million shooters. Yeah, I know it's only been 2 days, but we should have 1,000 by now. Again, the apathy amongst Australian shooters is just off the chain at the moment. Again, me and Aaron are probably more passionate than other people willing to put their time into these sort of streams and podcasts and videos, and whereas most people just don't have that drive to do any of that and to not get involved in the shooting sports and not get involved in the politics. But unfortunately, if you're into guns, you have to be into the politics, because one day it's going to come back and bite you when you can't have your long-range bolt-action gun anymore. You can't shoot PRS, or you can't shoot whatever gun that it is, or whatever type of specific discipline. It's important, guys. It really is. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to thank Debbie for donating $30.99. Thank you so much, Debbie. Really, really appreciate it. And I actually saw a really good question here. They're coming in thick and fast now.
And hers, Debbie says, "You are amazing." I'm not sure if you're seeing that on your end, but on the thing, it's got like a little GIF next to it saying "You are amazing." So, and what's great to see. We've got Megan, we've got Debbie on board. We're seeing a lot of females coming in, and fantastic, great. Women love the shooting sports and the hunting. Put a ring on them, guys. If you see them, put a ring on them.
Yeah, exactly. They're a rare breed. I do see it on the actual YouTube channel page, but no, it doesn't come up on there. Thank you. We are amazing. I've got to say, we really are.
Geez, you're modest too, man. Geez, you should just. I might have to hack your channel and delete your channel, man. Just to hold you at ransom.
Oh, someone did it. Yeah, second time. Yay. Okay, now it was a very good question. I've got to find it. It's just coming in so fast. We've got one for Peter. Peter would love to come on the show. We probably organise that at some stage. We've got a list along of our arms of things to do. We've also got someone else who wants to come on the show and talk about a few things, some products.
I've got one here. Aaron Johnson says, sitting by quietly and dealing behind closed doors is part of the Australian problem. The only way is loud and in-your-face fighting for freedoms and the rights like the Americans do. Yeah, look, you just, we've seen it in Australia. We've seen it, and I never would condone violence, but you see that when they are violent, people start listening to them. They're starting to lose. The polish is wearing off the looters and the rioters in America at the moment. People aren't very happy about the situation. But when it's a one-off fight or a one-off issue, yeah, the government listens to violence. It's a terrible thing. But it's just a sad state of affairs. And well, of course, we're not advocating violence by any stretch of the imagination. I think we should not do that. But we need to use all legal avenues to continue the fight at a legal level. And always obey the laws, as we always say we should. And until at such time we can change them. I don't agree with them, but follow the law until at such stage we can hopefully change something. But again, I've been doing this 10 years. The time is nigh. Time is now. And excuses are over. We're in 2020. It's been a bad enough year as it is, with fires and COVID. We just can't afford any more attacks on the shooting sports, and government and the police just need to back off. Leave us to our devices. We're good people. Understand that. Let's work together. Let's do that instead of being enemies.
It wouldn't be great to be able to work with the police. They talk to us, we talk to them, not just be attacked by them, and always living in fear. So we'll just get a couple of super chats out of the way. One from Bobby. I don't have stickers. I'm sorry. I'm trying to organise it. I've been so busy with work, working huge hours, and so I am trying to get onto that, to be honest. And we got a $10 from Harps. Thank you. And Debbie, once again, another $30 from Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. You are awesome yourself. And we got a little gift next to it saying, thanks for being you.
Debbie must be, she's cashed up and she's got a job and she's ready to go. And I want to clarify one thing here too. Aaron says, no, I'm not talking about being violent, mate. Neither am I, dude. I just want to make that absolutely and abundantly clear to everyone. It's not what I'm talking about. I've never been violent. I'm not promoting that even in the remotest, man. Like, you've totally misread what I said. What I'm saying is that's what the government listens to. That's just a fact, I think. Again, like I said, stick to the avenues we need to stick to, the legal avenues. That's what we need to do. That's our way forward. And taking the government to court at any opportunity we possibly can. It's expensive. Yeah, we need backers. We need money. We need financial backing. That's just how it is. We need lawyers on retainer. We need, it costs money. So either you're willing to put your money where your mouth is, or we're not. We can't have our cake and eat it too, can we?
It's definitely. I agree with you totally. It's time we get our voices heard. 24 years, nothing's happened. Our voices need to be heard, and you're right. Neither of us ever advocate for breaking the law or getting violent or anything. We're not the left wing here. We don't advocate violence or anything. That violence is the last thing you ever want, and that's for sure. So we would never ever think anything like that. You're 100% right. Now, I can't find the question, but the question was, this is something I've always thought would be very good. Why not have an insurance for this sort of thing? Like in the States, they have insurance if you ever get into a self-defense shooting. So insurance tailored for that. Why not have insurance tailored for when the police come and take your guns, or you get mistreated with firearms or something on those lines? Insurance tailored to that. So say you lose your guns for any reason, for not wearing a mask, say, in Victoria, you can fall back on the insurance and they'll pay for your legal fees to get your guns back and clear your name. That would be a good insurance to have.
I wonder, but that's something. I wonder if there's even a policy that's even eligible or available for that, because I'll say, well, you could potentially go out and break the law on purpose and think you're covered. So I don't even think there's even a type of insurance for that to even be available, man. So but you've got holy shit, man, the Royal Australia.
Yeah, they're all coming in. The Real Australia and Joseph Sherman. I'll just come down to the bottom and bring them up. Okay, we'll start the Real Australia $100 donation. Thank you. Thank you so much, Real Australia. We really, really appreciate that. It is awesome. And yeah, unbelievable. It's just thank you so much for supporting the show. It's going to really go towards ammo and targets for future reviews that we'll be filming and getting Jason up to Queensland when he's allowed to get here. You can get him up here.
The Joseph Sherman one, he said, get all your mates involved, support all the pro-gun groups and parties you can. I'd be down to get a national neighbourhood watch star. Obviously not armed, just a guy with it. Like what was that movie, man? With it,
yeah, I was thinking that.
Vince
Ben
Vaughn,
Stiller.
Ben Stiller. I think Jonah Hill was in it possibly too. What was it called? Neighborhood Watch, I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was called Neighborhood Watch. I love Vince Vaughn, man. I reckon Vince Vaughn is the mate. He's funny, and I think he made a movie too. Was it something Attack on Cell Block 99 or something like that? Man? The Bock man, he was fucking brilliant in that, dude. He should have won an Oscar for that performance in that movie. Something Cell Block 99. If you haven't watched it, guys, Vince Vaughn, brilliant movie.
Well, Vince Vaughn is their version of Russell Crowe, I reckon.
Yeah,
and that Cell Block 99 was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a conservative, libertarian style dude, so he knows what's up.
And he loves guns. And he's not ashamed to say that. So, yep. So, Russell, if you're watching, give us a yell.
There we go. Brawl. It's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. Man, one of the best movies I've seen. And yeah, he's a funny guy, but that's why I like him. I love comedies are my favorite movies. But man, he aced that movie. Man, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Some of the stuff you're there going, very good movie.
The head in the toilet was the best.
Yeah, I can't remember all of it, but you just got to watch it, guys. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Brilliant movie.
Yeah, exactly. That was fantastic. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, so going back to that insurance what I was talking about. I used to work for insurance companies doing plastering, and I can tell you now, if they can make a buck out of it, they'll make up an insurance for it. So I reckon they could do it. If they're going to make money out of it, they'll make sure there's an insurance policy for it.
Yeah. And I got to mention Chris Miller, our regular viewer and listener. You need to get Jason that torch, Azza. Yes, he does.
I'm waiting for them to come to the country. I had them on the phone last week.
Well, what the bloody hell's happening, dude? Not happy. You know, your right-hand man, like I'm Batman, you're Robin, so Batman's not happy, dude.
I was thinking, I'm Batman and you're Wonder Woman.
You're my sidekick, all right? This is my show.
No, you're just a joker. Okay. Colin, they want us to live in fear too, helpless and powerless. Exactly. A scared population is an easy one to control. But on the other hand, the media and anti-gun people overestimate the shooting community. And that's just as bad as underestimating. Yes, they do. That's for sure.
James LR said, screw Jason's torch, Aaron, buy him a 338. Yeah, mate, couldn't agree more, dude. 100%. You know, got to start getting treated like royalty around here.
Stuff that. It's my 50th birthday coming up. The 338 is mine. I think we should start a GoFundMe for it, actually. GoFundMe for my 50th birthday party. The 338 Lapua.
What, you're getting old, man. You'll probably be asleep by 9:30.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, not me. Up all night, bloody editing videos.
Peter Zabrak says, when SC said, guys, there's big problems coming with insurance for shooters, FYI. What does that mean, Peter? Does that mean it's hard to get insurance for shooters? Or, give us a bit more detail about that. We'd want to get a bit more detail about that.
Well, I actually put up on my page a while ago about insurances, what people use, and because everyone just thinks the WSAA insurance is basically it. But to my surprise, Shannon's, who do like muscle cars and exotic cars, they actually do a very good firearm policy, insuring your firearms. And a lot of people said they use Shannon's insurance company, and they're extremely good price for all their insurances. So it could be something worth looking at. Mine's on my house and contents insurance, so I'm covered there. But you can definitely add them onto your insurances, mate. Insurance companies are there to make money. They don't give a shit if you got firearms. If they can make $1 out of it, they'll insure it. Sometimes you just have to tell them what you got. So if they ever do get stolen, you got a list. And actually, Eric from Iraq, veteran 88, he has a memory stick. He was saying with all his guns, photographs on them, photographs of serial numbers, absolutely everything. And he has several copies on different memory sticks stashed around. He keeps one on his key ring. He keeps several around his house. If anything ever happens to his guns, he's got everything on a memory stick and with pictures of all his gear as well and all the serial numbers, which isn't such a bad idea.
Yeah, man, just scroll down. You got to get rid of someone there, dude. You got to get rid of it.
Yep.
You got to get rid of someone there. Third last thing, just someone being a clown. So it's all right. You get them here and there, guys. Someone being an idiot. You see it?
No.
Third one from the bottom.
It's a little bit of a lag here, actually, man. We'll bring up this one. We know that. Thank you very much, Xena Baby. We know the current government has an agenda to disarm us. History shows what happens to every country that has been disarmed. That's true. But then again, we talk about this a bit, don't we, Jason? Can they really afford shooters to be fully disarmed and have no guns? Because the amount of money they make out of us, through they reckon our sport brings in the most one of the most revenue for tax. By the time we buy 4-wheel drives, all the camping gear, all the shooting gear, all the ammunition, all the food we take when we go out, we're one of the most profitable sports there is for taxable income. Can they really afford to get rid of that?
Yeah, well, I just think they don't care. They wouldn't have given up all the rest of the guns previously if they cared about money. I reckon they could get rid of them tomorrow and they wouldn't care less, even though it's worth $480 million in Victoria.
Yeah, and I've heard, but then how much does it cost them, this registry? I hear lots of different stories from Queensland, like up to $75 million a year to run weapons licensing here in Queensland. But you just can't get a figure out of them. There's no there's no real there's no one out there that sorry, Jason just sent me a text. Sorry guys, I've lost my train
of we know Peter said it's interesting when he goes, Lloyd's of London are pulling out of the public liability insurance for security and firearms. Yeah, I mean, it's getting harder. I mean, even just things and payment processes and stuff like that, just trying to get people to process payments. We saw the banks, remember, what was that, Aaron? Was that not ANZ? It was Westpac. I think it was Westpac having issues with finance businesses and threatening to shut their accounts down. Luckily, a little bit of interaction from where some of the organisations that might have worked this time, they were like, oh, no, we didn't mean that. That was purely accidental. And yeah, I'm sure it was. But, anyone that's not supporting shooters, I'd immediately pull my businesses and finances out of that company anyway and find another one that will. But eventually there's going to be nowhere to go to. I mean, after a while, if you got all of them cancelling and rejecting, where do you go after that? We see it with conservatives and YouTubers and stuff when they're being banned by Uber and Lyft and these companies and payment processing companies. How are they supposed to make money? I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to also thank Xena Baby for the $20 donation. Thank you very much, Xena. Really do appreciate that.
Female, if she is, well, man, we've got a lot of females coming on. Bloody fantastic.
Yeah, it's good to see. Well, shooting is one of the largest female growing sports in Australia, so which is good. Peter says, this is from NSC, public liability will get much more expensive because fewer are willing to provide it. Yeah, well, it's not good. I know my public liability for my company costs a small fortune for my plastering business. So yeah, it's definitely, I definitely see that coming if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
And Joseph, another $5. Thank you very much. An excellent article I recommend everyone read, written by Ven Zulin or something like that.
Written by a Venezuelan man.
Yeah, I know, Venezuelan. And there's a link, which I don't know if the link works. I don't know, but yeah, go read it by a Venezuelan. Hey?
Yeah, I'm having a look now. Just talking about a brief history of representative regimes and their gun laws. Yeah, I'll read this a bit later, dude. Just about Soviet Union, Bulgaria, East Germany, Hungary, Nazi Germany. Be interesting to read. Yeah, I'll read it, man, tonight.
Okay. Oscar, Queensland denied a petition to open up state forests for Queensland for hunting, same as New South Wales and Victoria, despite the positive economic evidence. Money isn't everything. Yes, I do remember that. I advertised that petition on my page about half a dozen times. And basically, they said it's never going to happen. We don't want people running around the forests shooting each other. That was pretty much their line of attack for it all.
That's what I mean. If my state was, I had control of a state, man, I'd be making things a lot easier. I'd be reducing taxes, just making life a lot easier for shooters and bringing people into my state, mate. We want money, we want jobs, we want infrastructure, we want, it's like a race to ban the most. Which state can race to ban the most things, and then wonder why they don't have any money.
Yeah, it's what really pisses me off. We all get just one shot at life. You got to try and make it as happy. And these people, the overlords of our states, need to realise this. You got to make your people happy. So they only live once. You shouldn't be there strong arming them, sending the Victoria Police out, roughing old ladies up on the park benches, all this bullshit. You got to try and make people's life enjoyable. And that's how you get respect. Treat people with respect and you get respect. Not all this bullshit that's been going on in the last few months. Not at all. It's not hard to be kind to people. It's just not. We're paying these politicians. Just pull your finger out and realise that you're there to make our lives better, not to fucking ban everything.
I keep thinking, man, like people, you can tell even the media, the articles are changing in the media surrounding like Daniel Andrews and stuff. And, they're starting to turn on him, man. It's not going to be long. I mean, they're already threatening people via letters to people saying, if you're planning on protesting on the, I think it's the 13th on Saturday, we'll be prepared to get smashed a bit because, they're just pre-warning them, and they're doing a good job scaring people. Then again, I'm not going to be done for incitement because I'm just saying I don't have an opinion on it. I do, but that's my personal opinion. I'm not going to share here. But, I always say, it's coming to an end, this thing. If he keeps going the way he is, he'll be out sooner rather than later, and he'll be rolled by his own party. And people just aren't going to stand for it anymore. You can see footballers, AFL players are coming out now. Business owners are making videos. They're everywhere. Like he knows his career is finished. His career's over. The whole hotel quarantine bungle. I mean, it's sad. But anyway, this is a shooting show. Let's not get involved in that. We don't
want to knock on the door tonight.
No, unless it's the pizza guy from Domino's Pizza. Or
yeah, exactly. Or BW. Best for the night ball of Corky, Jason, you should get Bob Catter and Pauline Hanson on your podcast. You talked to Pauline Hanson's staff at one stage, didn't you?
I had Fraser Anning on the show. So if you go back through the list of people, I had Fraser when he just left Pauline Hanson's One Nation, and I did have Malcolm Roberts, but again, they disappointed me, or at least Pauline disappointed me after she was a fairly strong supporter of shooters, and they were caught with the NRA, which fantastic, get tips and trips from the NRA, fantastic, but then went on the Sunrise program or whatever it was and completely threw shooters on the bus. And I've still got the audio here. If only if I'd sent it Aaron, I knew this was coming, I would have been able to play it. And then she basically said, she goes, under my laws, gun laws will never be changing under Pauline Hanson's One Nation. I mean, Aaron remembers this. Well, then you're useless to us, and if you're not going to change anything, you're just a wasted vote. In regards to, and this is probably going to be, a little bit unpopular, but again, this is just factual. You can get upset if you like. I've said this before. I like Bob Catter. I think his party's done good things for Queensland. The guys have been great advocates for shooters. They've been on the front foot for shooters. But, again, I've got to be honest with the people that are listening. I always like to be honest, is that, Bob Catt has been in Parliament for 50 years and has not introduced a single piece of legislation onto the floor of Parliament to make life easier for shooters. Doesn't mean I'm against the guy. I like the guy. I think he's a bit quirky at times. I think he probably needs to speak a little bit better, a bit more professional. But, he's from North Queensland. He gets good results for his local electorate. But, the reality is that there's not been a policy tabled to the floor of Parliament and legislation to make life easier for shooters. And I'm sorry that may offend some people that like them. But, again, that is just the reality. Again, he's been in Parliament since 1974. That's a long time. It's over 50 years. And, we just haven't seen the benefits of that tenure in regards to legislation on the floor of Parliament. So, again, not having a go at them. I like them. I think they're good for shooters. But, again, it comes down to what you're tabling onto the floor of Parliament to make life easier for shooters. The rest is just noise. The rest is just on the internet, Facebook, being on TV. Yeah, better than being our enemies, but of course, much better than being our enemies. But again, that's just the reality of the situation. I hate to say that, guys, but that's the truth. And you may not like it, but that's the facts, and that's just how it is.
Yes, I tend to agree. I know people that know Bob, and they said he's a nice guy as well. So he's probably a great guy, top bloke for shooters. But yeah, it comes a time where we want to see some actual real action happening from these people. I haven't seen that with Bob Catter at all, and we won't see anything from Pauline Hanson, I don't think, after the views that we've seen and heard from her. I don't think anything's going to happen there. She's just turning into another typical politician, I reckon, just protect that paycheck. That's what I think's happening.
Corky super chatted us, and he says, "Oh, very sad." I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be rude. We've said it 1,000 times, just take the emotion out of it. That's just the truth. I mean, people can get upset and go, I really like the guy, and you guys are a pack of assholes. And, you can say that. That's totally fine. I'm not saying Corky's saying that, but I'm just saying other people that are probably listening right now. And, again, I've said the guy is a nice guy. I repeated it, like he's a good advocate. I'd rather them saying good things for shooters than saying bad things. And I've always had on my sort of hand, there's three types of politicians. There's one that understand gun rights and actually achieve results. That's the people that we want, the ones that are going to achieve results and saying good things. Then in the middle, which I would accept, is so long as you're saying good things in the media, even if you don't get a result, I'd prefer results, but that's fine, right? Like, it's not the ultimate good thing, but I deal with it, right? So saying good things, not saying guns or semi-autos are bad, like we've seen from politicians in New South Wales that are pro-firearm, apparently pro-firearm, that people shouldn't have these types of guns. I mean, they were happy when guns were banned in 96. This is what we're seeing. And then the worst kind is the ones that say are supposed to be pro-gun that don't get any results and also fuck up in the media constantly and say things that, either they don't mean or they do mean, or that they've said that many times. They tell you a story, but you just got to look at their media performances and realize that they don't believe in the same things that we believe in about self-defense, about gun owners' rights, about semi-autos, about suppressors, about self-defense, about getting rid of appearance laws. And they'll say it sometimes, but then when they go in the media, they say the complete opposite. And I've never seen any minority rights movement say the opposite of what they actually believe in, because there's some thing we need to, how can I explain this in the best way? Like when the only way I can explain it is when the gays wanted to get married, right? They didn't come out and say, shit, we don't want gay marriage, but we really do. They were very vocal about wanting gay marriage, right? That's what they do. So when we do it, we say, we can't say we want semi-autos. We can't say that. Well, yes, we can. We can say we want to get rid of suppressors. You've got to be able to have the argument and be able to make the argument. If you can't make the argument, or you just don't believe in it, well, then you're never going to get my vote. You're just a waste of time. You're a waste of time being there, because you're basically like the Nationals 2.0. No thanks. Not interested.
Yep, exactly. Only vote for if they want a party wants full removal of the NFA and bring back semi-autos. If you don't want that, you're not going to get my vote. No, I don't care if you think you're pro-gun or not. Pro-gun is wanting to get rid of the NFA and actually going to do something about it. Just not talk about it. Apart from that, I won't vote for you. That's simple. Wizard of Australia. Thoughts on renewing WSAA membership? Well, I wouldn't do it. That's my thought.
And Chris Miller says, "Lol, don't," with a smiley face.
Yep, exactly. So I'm not a political person. I don't care about politics. I really don't care who's in because Liberal and Labor are going to get in and they are the same party. And really, I don't vote for anyone if it's not a full removal of the NFA and bring back semi-autos and give us some of our rights back again. That's
And
just my opinion.
whilst we know right now that's a very, very difficult task based on they're taking people's licenses for COVID-19, but again, you've got to know how to debate it. You've got to know how to be in the media, TV, and radio and deflect those questions. You've got to know how to answer the questions. And yeah, it can be difficult. How many times have I been on the radio, Aaron? Probably 10, 12, 13 times. And sometimes I've been on 2GB where, Ray Hadley, Chris Smith, that was there in the afternoon. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people listening to me. How many times have I gone head to head with Ben Fordham? Twice on 2GB. Ben Fordham now took over for Alan Jones on the breakfast program. So, again, it's every time I do it, I feel like peeing my pants, and my heart starts racing and all that. But, I do it, man. I don't get paid to do it. I just do it because I have to do it. I feel like it's my duty to do it.
I think the best one you did was when you got up Sam Lee from Gun Control Australia.
Yeah.
I think that was the best one.
If anyone hasn't heard that, you can go on, I think it's on my AHP Outdoors channel, and just type in or Samantha Lee Triple J, because on the Triple J, and I gave her a good run for her money, man. And I reckon it was pretty good, I got to admit. I'm not pulling my own chain, but sometimes you got to if no one else is going to. So,
who wants to hear it? I'll bring it up right now.
Is it there? Yeah, I mean, have you got it? You have a look. Here. Triple J or Jason goes head to head with Samantha Lee, I think it's called.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll finish off, mate. We're starting to drop down a bit. People are getting a bit tired and probably had their dinner and getting ready for work tomorrow. And I mean, if you can play it, we'll play it. People are saying, please play it if you haven't heard it. So,
okay.
Some people are saying, yep, let's see it. Do it, please. Play it, please. A lot of people.
Here it is here.
All right.
Okay, guys, I'll just try and share this. Just bear with me for a second. I hope the sound comes up.
You're not going to screw it up like last time, did you, when you tried to play that thing? And it works now because it's up on my screen now, so it works, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here's Jason getting up Samantha Lee. So let's see. Hope you can hear it. Oh, no. Hang on, we'll try it again. Sorry, I did screw it up.
Take that off, yeah.
Sure. Today on the show, we're talking about the Adler shotgun. It's something that's been debated for a while. Currently, you can't import the 7-shot Adler shotgun into the country, but it's made its way back into the parliamentary debate.
It's 15 minutes long.
And in the last 24 hours, Malcolm Turnbull, the current Prime Minister...
Yeah, just wait for the main part.
I can't hear anything on this.
I can. Nick, can you guys hear it? Let us know in the comments.
Turnbull, it took him a while to...
Scroll a bit more forward. Go to about the 3-minute mark and I'll tell you. See how that works.
To a consensus which will see a...
Keep going forward.
Shotguns with a capacity...
Yeah, here we go. Go a bit more.
Have been fired. It's obviously rapid fire capacity.
Go to 5. Keep going a little bit more forward.
Technology. It's not a firearm suited to criminals. It's 1.24 meters long and 3.2 kilos heavy. Thanks.
Bit more forward.
I don't want to... Australians have access to this gun.
Well, Tom, they've actually had access to this firearm.
That's Jeff Jones. Go a bit more forward. Go to about 7-8 minutes. Sorry, guys, about this.
Is that they're commonly used in...
I can't hear anything.
Yep. Is that category A and B firearms are...
Go back a bit. Go back about 30 seconds. A bit more. Keep going. 8 minutes. Go to 8 minutes. Sorry about this, guys.
On the Adler shotgun to continue, what concerns you about the gun?
Well, one has to ask the question why or the fuss about this lever action if they have been in the country for so long. The reasons why it's in such demand is because it's magazine capacity.
Aaron, just pause it. Can you make it louder? Can you make it louder on the system there?
The other
No, that's it.
Go to that chat play window. Go to that. No, left. Go to where you mute it. No, go to where you mute it. Can you? No, it's not louder. Guys, can you hear it? Sorry about this. Can you hear it? Let us know.
Was this
reason being is
volume?
magazine can
Is
be
this where you wanted it?
removed.
Yeah, that'll do.
And a
Guys,
new
let's not play it.
magazine is
Let's
in
not play
place
it.
that extends that magazine to up to 11 shots. And this is why it is wanted. It's also going to be available to the most common firearm licence holder in Australia, which is Category A and B, which is over 800,000 licence holders in Australia.
But what worries you about it? Are you afraid that it will get into the wrong hands and be used on people? Is that what you're worried about?
The problem with rapid-style firearms, which this one is that they're commonly used in massacres. The other issue is that Category A and B firearms are often stolen from residential dwellings and fall into the black market.
Aaron, turn yours down. I can hear that.
Am I saying that everyone that owns one of these guns is going to go out and commit a massacre? I mean, that's not the case. And most people that own firearms probably won't hurt anyone. But the problem is that we just want to minimise the potential harm that could stem from rapid firearms being in the general community. We don't know who commits massacres, and so we minimise harm. We also want to minimise the drift of guns being stolen and falling into the black market, and those guns being rapid-style firearms.
Jeff, does that concern you that these guns might end up in the wrong hands?
No, it doesn't at all, Tom. In fact, the level of theft of firearms in Australia, considering the number of licensed firearms owners and the number of firearms, is incredibly small. It receives a high-profile attention, and we and the police forces through the country are always very, very conscious of it, and we deal with it at every possible opportunity. But in fact, this particular firearm would be the least type of firearm preferred by any criminal. In fact, they can't be effectively cut down because they can't actually be used and controlled if they're cut down. Criminals cut these down. They don't use them in their full form. And I heard one of your earlier responses in suggesting or telling you actually how long it was and how heavy it was. So criminals, when they carry out these sorts of things, some of the preferred types of firearms are the simpler types of firearms. This particular firearm doesn't fall into any of those categories. It has not been used in massacres. There is no evidence whatsoever to support the emotional concern that people have brought forward.
All right.
I understand that people who don't understand, and most people who are objecting to it, admit quite openly they have no technical knowledge, they don't understand what it is, they've seen something on TV which was actually if you like, advertising, and we know what advertising is about. So, as I say, there's actually really quite a clear misdirection on this whole issue.
Okay, Jeff, I want to hear from some of the listeners. One person says, I've never seen a gun kill anyone on its own. It's the dick holding them. If they want to harden gun laws, go towards the licensing system and psychological tests. Someone else says, how many feral animals were there in Port Arthur? Someone else, referring to Samantha Lee, says, this chick knows her shit. Well done, Dr. Jones, Inverloch. Stefan from Adelaide, what's your point of view on the Adler shotgun?
Just scroll forward, and we've heard from people. Just scroll a bit forward.
Jason, go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, back.
This Adler shotgun is no different than any other shotgun that's been in the country for the better part of 100 years. And the issue with
when you say that, just to clarify, you mean this type of lever action shotgun, not this particular brand?
I mean, Samantha Lee does say, she's actually lying to the listeners. What she says is that these types of firearms are the preferred use for mass shootings. Well, that's not true at all. I mean, if she can tell me in the last 5 years any lever action shotgun or rifle has actually been used in a crime, I mean, she deserves a medal, because the research I've done doesn't prove that statement actually to be true whatsoever.
All right, well, I'll put that back to Samantha Lee. Samantha Lee, what do you say to that?
Look, the whole issue is that these are different.
Sorry, keep going. It's playing. Keep going.
Oh, these are stopped.
Lever action shotguns.
No, that's a lie. No, they're not.
Sorry, can I just finish
So
my point?
go ahead, Sam.
They're a modern design firearms, and they were promoted by the company importing them as a game changer for the Australian market. They're a rapid-style firearms. I'm not saying this one in particular has been used in massacres because it's just recently been imported, but rapid-style firearms, a firearm that can shoot 8 shots in 8 seconds.
So are you saying specifically, Samantha, that a lever action shotgun has been used in lots of massacres that have killed people? Or are you
I'm
using
saying-
a broader category of like rapid fire there?
I'm saying rapid fire guns are used in massacres, and this is a new type of lever action which has been changed to a rapid style firearm. The old lever actions were only capable of holding 1 to 2 ammunitions in the gun. These new lever actions can hold up to 11 rounds of ammunition.
Okay.
So this is what changes them. And also,
All right, I want to give Jason a quick chance to reply before we move on to a discussion about masculinity, which is coming straight after a discussion about guns. Jason, what do you say to that?
Well, since 1996, we've had like the IAC 1887, which is basically the exact same action of firearm. This just looks a bit newer. Since 1996, no one has even attempted to commit a mass shooting with a lever action firearm or rifle. Man Monis used a pump shotgun. I think they were incorrectly classified in 1996. And I also think, where did Man Monis get that firearm? He got that firearm from the illegal black market, which was 20 years ago. Those firearms were basically confiscated from law-abiding people. So,
all right, well, Jason, thank you.
The question.
Thank you so much for calling in with your opinion there on the text line. So I don't understand what the benefit of having
That's
access
it, we're done,
to
we're done.
shotgun
We're
is. Sam from Glen.
Anyway,
Awesome. I have heard it before. Yeah, did a good job. So what do you think, guys? Jason going head to head with Samantha Lee and
It's,
calling her out on her bullshit.
yeah, it's she goes, oh, it's a different ammunitions. She goes, ammunitions, and he goes, oh, is it a broader category of rapid fire? Like, what's these people are idiots, man? Like, oh, is it a broader category of rapid fire? I think that was Hamish, isn't it? Hamish from Q&A. But yeah, she's lying. I thought he was going to cut me off then, actually, when I started interrupting, because they normally cut you off and they don't like the answer. But, you know, then he went to her and then he goes, nah, yeah. What about that, Samantha? You know, I thought, ooh, we're hitting a nerve here. And then he gave me the last say as well, which was fantastic as well. So, yeah, man, that was one of the efforts I've done and one of many. But I'm glad I was able to get on and go head to head with her, and they finally let me on. So if you want to hear it, you just saw it up on the screen, so you can head back and listen to it properly. And I got to admit, man, Jeff Jones was saying the right things there. But again, you know, it's okay to say the right things on radio, but he's got the power to act. He's got the money. So, but anyway, man, we're coming up to probably 9:30, man. We maybe should probably wrap it up soon, dude.
Yeah, well, we gave everyone an extra hour. You know, everyone asked for longer shows, so you got an extra hour out of us, which is awesome. So definitely thank you so much for everyone watching tonight. Really appreciate it. And it's been, our biggest night ever. We broke the 200 consecutive views. So I think this video will go really well over the next couple of days. So thank you guys for watching, and look out for tomorrow. I have an Australian first video coming out of shooting bulletproof wallboard. It's actually cladding that anyone can buy if you got $2,000 per square meter to install the stuff. But it was an absolute amazing product. And so we shoot that tomorrow. So you'll see what it's all about. So
Let me add
definitely,
in, check it out. When's that coming out for tomorrow?
yeah, tomorrow sometime, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else I've got to add? Thanks. People are saying nice things about my interview with Samantha Lee. Then, yeah, she's she's full of lies, man. And you know, I got to admit, even though Hamish is now, I think that was the same Hamish that's on Q&A now, so he's a bit of a left wing zealot. But he gave me a good run. I can't deny that. So Aaron's got his video coming out. Anything else to talk about? I'll put my rabbit hunting video out. Probably not as much shooting as I wanted on that first video, guys, but check it out on AHP Outdoors. I've got the other one edited. It's private at the moment. Probably release that in a couple of weeks. That's got a lot more shooting than the first one, guys. I think you'll really like that bunny busting video that I spent quite a bit of time editing, this 2-part series. With the first part came out a week ago, so check that out. Second part coming out maybe in a couple of weeks. I've got
Simon
it there.
and Joe.
Whoops, Aaron's played something there.
Sorry. I was going to bring up your video screenshot, but no. Definitely go take a look at Jason's videos. He does a really good job at the editing, and I know he spends a lot of time on them. So, yeah, the descriptions, links are all down below in the description on our shows. And please hit that subscribe button and like and share this video So we get more and more people every week. This is building up, and this has only become popular because of you guys. So thank you so much, and thank you for supporting Jason and his podcast. You just released another podcast the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, just about bow hunting and with the guy in WA, which is pretty good, and you know what I mean. But with the more different ones and getting people with businesses and stuff, it takes a bit of time to get those people and do the questions, get them on the air, and get it recorded and stuff. So I like to again, podcast is about doing. I don't just do one thing, surely there's something that you like: long range hunting, shooting, politics, ballistics, anything. I try and cover all bases, So if you don't like one thing, hopefully there's something there that you do like.
Yes, definitely. This is awesome. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining in tonight and making this the biggest show we have. Really do appreciate it. So we will be seeing you next Thursday night, same time, same place. And once again, just hit that subscribe button and go check Jason's podcast out as well. So have a really good week, and we shall see you next Thursday. Thank you.